Majore still here. So I guess they're the M boys. They're going home for their weekend while we come in to finish off your week and take you into the weekend here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Skaz is back. We got Jake here tonight. Also, Street Team Joe helping us out. We're going to have fun tonight. We're on until 11 o'clock, so after 9 o'clock, things get a little, you know how they work if you listen to the night show. So we'll give you full takes for the first, 90 minutes or so, and then we'll let loose with a little bit of in or out in musings throughout the night. You can join us on YouTube tonight as well. The March Madness continues, and we got some madness. And I got picks for you for tonight, probably in the 9 o'clock game. And Joe me the money. 10:35. You don't want to miss it here on the Sports Hub. The phone number is 617-779-0985. Where do we start? Well, how about this? Let's start here first. Regarding Red Sox opening day, we got that yesterday. And I wanted to just get into the Patriots news of the day as well. And that's where we'll start with our opening take presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Our opening take, ESPN Bet Sportsbook, just to give them a plug real quick. They have all the latest season win totals, odds, division winners right now up at their website if you want to check them out for the NFL. And while the Patriots are sitting at 7.5 wins, for those who have not heard that yet, but they're making moves, and they're making moves in leadership at the top on the team. And today they released Jawan Bentley, linebacker, injured last year. Clearly, his loss showed what they lost on their defense. But the Patriots are moving on from Jawan Bentley, who was going into the final year of his deal. He was a thumper. What I mean by a thumper is the old school middle linebacker's gone. The guy in the middle that's taking on fullbacks constantly and linemen, those days are over. But you do need guys now that can still attack the middle of the field but go sideline to sideline. Bentley has done a great job rehabbing his body to become thinner and be a damn good linebacker. Now, was he good? Yes. Was he all-pro? Never. Could he get you 100 tackles? Absolutely. I will say this, though. The approach this offseason when it comes to free agency, I credit the Patriots because they have better players. They're an improved roster, and they brought in guys that they know for the most part. So I think on paper, the Patriots are a better football team today because of the talent they brought in. That's why the win total's at 7.5, right? But I'm going to be critical about the move about Bentley. He was good. I'm not calling him all pro. I'm not calling him Pro Bowler. None of that. But that was a guy that you could depend on, who could make calls. Was he the greatest in coverage? No. But they really could have gone all in at the linebacker position this year, keeping him around. And we'll get into the other guys that are here coming up, but initially, I know that you moved on from David Andrews. I know now that you moved on from Jawan Bentley. Jonathan Jones is gone. Dietrich Wise out the door. A lot of the old captains, see you, big boy. The Bill Belichick era of players, there's one remaining. Cardona, the captain and the long snapper. It's a new regime. And I know there's been some moves this week. Christian Ellis got his deal matched. I don't know why. They brought in Jack Gibbons, who very familiar with Mike Vrabel and his defense. And then I don't know how Jelani Tavai is still here. Maybe, I don't know. It's Mike Vrabel's team. It's the theme of the first-year head coach. Moving on from longtime leaders. I mentioned Jones, Wise, Andrews. These are all good players. Now, I get it. If you want to move on from a guy like Dietrich Wise, he's probably at the tail end of his career. Jonathan Jones was a leader last year despite, the fact that he's not a polarizing figure. But they are taking steps in establishing new culture, and there's no doubt about it. And I think they're taking on the coach's image now. But here's a positive, everybody. when it comes to most defenses, I think it's this way in sports in general, whether baseball. The middle of your defense, the middle of the lineup, the middle of the diamond, right? Protecting the middle of the floor. It's very big defensively in every single sport. So keeping it to football, Vrabel's replacing the middle of his defense. Signing Milton Williams up front. Spillane in the middle now with other players. Is safety next? They have Kyle Duggar. They have Peppers, another captain. Well, actually, he's not a captain anymore because of what happened with him. But that's probably next. Mike Vrabel is bringing his image, his style, his people, establishing new culture in New England. He's doing it defensively, and we'll get into the Stefon Diggs news. He had his press conference today. We'll get into that coming up on the other side. But there's some attitude there, too. So not only is he bringing in his culture, his image, his players, he's moving on from the old, but he's building the team from the middle and building it defensively. And now, to help Drake May, has brought in Stefon Diggs. Culture, image. Last year, it was about vibes. This year, it's about establishing who you are, and that is Mike Vrabel's football team. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Stefon Diggs spoke today as well. Your thoughts on Mike Vrabel's move of Jawan Bentley, who I, again, want to credit him one more time. Damn good player. Not going to overrate him, but I think they lost a good player today. They brought in a good one today, too, though. We'll get into him. His name's Stefon Diggs. Can you dig it? We'll get into that coming up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I feel like we should make a show bet. Do we think that Stefon Diggs will play week 1? Like, in or out? Just in or out. I'm out. I hope he's ready week 1. He said he's ahead of schedule because that was him talking about being physical or physically being ready. I just go back to Kendrick Bourne, who got hurt in October and was back in October. So to me, that was 12 months. Cam Akers came back really fast. I remember his injury. Different position, though. Running back, maybe. I don't know. I'm going out. But Adam Schefter made it clear that that's why Elliott Wolf gave him the money. So right now, Skaz, I'm out. You?
Yeah, I would lean out as well. I almost, I don't want to say I don't want him to be ready for week 1.
Oh, we all want it.
Obviously, that would be great if he was ready for week 1, but let's not rush. Let's not rush your number 1 wide receiver back. Let's not rush one of your biggest free agent acquisitions back. Let's let him come back. When he's ready. I think a lot of people thought when he first signed he might miss the first 4 games. He might be put on the PUP list or something like that. So it's great to hear that he's ahead of schedule. I would be thrilled if he was out there week 1, but as of today, I would not expect him to be out there week 1.
Yep, I want him to be there. Street Team Joe, thumbs down. Oh, he's thumbs up. He thinks Jake. Down. Okay, all right. So 3. That would be Joe math. 3-1. So I want it to happen. I just can't believe. But you know what though? I'll tell you this about Stefon Diggs today. Did you feel the swag? I felt it, man. No. Who's the last? Probably Randy Moss, right? Put the world on my back. No. Name a guy that's had that kind of swag on the Patriots.
Darrelle Revis. But that's the type of player you're talking about. Like Darrelle Revis, they're just a different level, different guy. You saw Revis and you were just like, yeah, that's a star. That's Darrelle Revis.
Revis had a little to prove too, right? Because
little bit.
That year in Tampa was
not
okay.
great.
It was okay.
So
he wasn't like all pro Revis,
So yeah, it's been a while, but I'm with you. Just something about having that guy, elite talent. There's, as the kids would call it, aura. As we've been told, Joe. So yeah, there was definitely some of that going around Gillette Stadium today.
See, I call that swag because when Jalen Polk will tell you he has the best hands in the league, he's going to get the side eye that Stefon Diggs gave Josh Allen in the game, right? That alone is why Stefon Diggs is worth it in the room. Like, when Javon Baker says, I make people in wheelchairs dance, every time that happens, I'm going to give this side, the Diggs side eye. It just can't happen in that room anymore. This is what I mean by culture shift. Now, we'll get into more Diggs stuff, but I got to at least get this one out of the way here. I don't want the Patriots to be upset with me for what I'm about to say. But I don't love the fact that the last 2 captains who have been released because of failing physicals. I think it's a bad look. If you want to move on from David Andrews and Juwan Bentley, who are great Patriots? Let's call Juwan Bentley will probably forget about someday. But he was a damn good Patriot. Did he win a championship? He did win a championship, right? Yeah, I think he was a part of, yeah. My only thing is this. Oh, well, he failed his physical. I heard that one. I just saw that within about an hour ago. Tell me that's not a Friday night news dump, by the way. I just don't like it. I don't like the fact, now if they failed the physical and that's why they cut him, fine, whatever. That's business, that's life. I just hate that has to get reported. I don't know if David Andrews will play again. Do I think he wants to? Yes. Juwan Bentley? Do I think he's somebody who can still play in the league? Absolutely. The family business, like Michael Corleone. What happened when Michael Corleone took over? When the Godfather laid to rest, he took care of all the families. They're all gone. There's one remaining. Vrabel is like Michael Corleone. Is that too old for you guys here? I'm sorry. Jake, do you know The Godfather? Yes? Okay, so you get the Michael Corleone reference? Thank you. He got rid of the other families. Now they've gotten rid of the captains. They're all gone. There's a new culture in town. No more vibes. No more bicycles. Just Michael Corleone taking care of family business. And, I just saw someone just sent that to me. Wow. Wow, do we all think alike? This is what the quote was. Since Vrabel is hired, since he's been hired, he's gone through the Patriots leaders like Michael Corleone taking care of family business. Boom! Yes! All right, what else did Stefon Diggs say today? Did he talk about Mike Vrabel's? Did he talk about, I'm going to make an offer you can't refuse? Let's hear what he said about Vrabel.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. You said you had some kind of prior relationship with Coach Vrabel. Probably not a huge relationship, but what is it about him that you like or appreciate, and was he part of the draw for you to come here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I also kind of factor in that he was a former player, and player-to-coach relationship, it kind of meshes really well with coaches that played at one time. They know what it takes to put the time in, being out there. I guess it would say it's like too much like a robot. Like sometimes they get caught up in being like in the numbers and the X's and O's. And player coaches know that you out there, you can make plays. Things come up differently. You know what I'm saying? How you see things can be differently when you once were a player. So he was a big draw for me. Seeing that he played the game of football and how well he played the game of football. I mean, he played with a standard. He played with some moxie. He had the energy. He played with a team or like individuals that were, great at what they do. Being around greatness and breeding greatness is like it's rubbing shoulders with it. I feel like it's a good relationship to have, especially when you're out there. So trying to follow suit in a way.
Interesting answer there. I think it was said at free agency a lot of the guys signed because of Mike Vrabel. Now, just because I want you to know I have PTSD from the Belichick era. So when I say this, I do remember when the free agents signed with like the Hunter Henrys and that whole era, everybody talked about Mr. Kraft spending the money and love playing for Bill Belichick, right? Like, wasn't that what it was? Oh, the Patriots are a great organization. Robert Kraft's a great owner. Bill Belichick's a great... There was a lot of that. So anyone who signed, remember, they all said that? Are we getting fed that again, Skaz? Is this familiar to you? Is this deja vu at all? Like, I don't know Stefon Diggs. Let's go over Stefon Diggs' former coaches, Skaz. Okay? So, Minnesota, I'll look up how long.
It was Mike Zimmer.
O'Connell
didn't get the job until 21-ish, 22.
So he didn't get to play for a coach that played in the league when he was with Mike Zimmer, who I think was a defensive
was
great.
O'Connell might have been the offensive coordinator, though.
Okay.
He may have been.
Oh, okay.
That I don't know.
All right. Let's see. Who is the Bills head coach there?
Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott.
And who was their OC, the guy that lost his mind before Brady took over? Ken Dorsey.
Former, won a championship with the Hurricanes, I believe.
It's before my time.
He was on the Miami Hurricanes that were good. Like that whole 8th floor crew.
Oh, yeah, Greg Olson, yeah.
Yes, that whole crew. And then, I don't know, Houston Texans coach.
That would be D'Amico Ryans.
I think he played in the league, right?
Pretty good player.
Huh.
Pretty good.
Huh. I love what everybody's saying. I have been on record saying I love the Stefon Diggs move. But are they taking it a little bit too far with the Vrabel, and that's why I came here?
I would only say no because Stefon Diggs is the one saying it. I'm not saying that's why Stefon Diggs is here, but he is. So I think there's certainly something to that. And he even gave a shout out to Todd Downing, who I think might have been on that Minnesota staff. He was the tight ends coach when Diggs was there. And, as someone who hasn't heard good things about Todd Downing, I thought that was a small win for Vrabel to hear that today. So, it's been it's Mike Vrabel's team.
Yeah.
It's his team. There is no, I think it goes without saying.
Normally, I would say that tongue-in-cheek as, everybody's great. But I am conditioned to feel like the Patriots do this, right? Hasn't this been their mantra? Like, you sign someone, Bill Belichick bow at their feet, right? Oh, Robert Kraft. So this is why I'm doing the radio show. Skaz, I believe you on that one. Stefon Diggs could probably say whatever the hell he wanted to, right? He probably would have went up there and said, well, they gave me the most money. Right? And Michael Corleone says this, and, Michael Corleone says that. He probably could have just said, hey, this is the best chance for me to be a number one receiver and make money. Did he talk about that, by the way? Let's hear him talk about being the number one receiver.
Hey, Stefon, I'm sure there were multiple factors that went into the decision to sign with New England, but for a team that's been looking for a number one wideout, is that number one, was that something that you were looking at?
Yeah.
And number two, how much does that excite you to be able to hopefully bring that to this room?
It's exciting, obviously. When I was factoring my decision, it's like getting back on track after I said I paid 10 and a half years playing this game. Would have been 11 if I didn't get banged up. So I definitely look forward to getting back on track. Young quarterback, a good team, a lot of pieces being added, everything trekking in the right direction, something that I wanted to be a part of. And I feel like I can be helpful as far as like development with the receivers and, everybody involved. And for me personally, get back out there and get active. I just want to, put my talents to use. But definitely, I thought about it, all that factored in going in and making my decision.
All right, there you go. Stefon Diggs speaking today, being fit. He's trying to be physically ready. Loves Mike Vrabel. Again, it's very easy for me to sit here and say this is typical Patriots. This is what they do. I don't think Stefon Diggs had to do that. Now, remember where Morgan Moses, he said something. Man, that guy can talk, by the way. I loved hearing him speak. He did say something about, when you want to win, it's not about, you don't always need the best players to find a way to win, something to that degree. But it did seem like a lot of people liked Mike Vrabel. It does seem like a theme. I had to bring it up because we're conditioned that when the Patriots do something, they want their players to acknowledge it. In this case, I'm not going to just sit here and call Mike Vrabel the Godfather just yet. But the way that guys have been whacked in the old culture, there's definitely a new boss in town. 617-779-0985. Let's talk to John. He's in the car. What the hell is that? What is that, though? They put me on hold? Do you think he's on the other line being like, hey, honey, gotcha. Hey, John. No?
Sounds like old school, arcade music or something.
It reminds me of Kung Fu, the Nintendo game. I don't know if you can look that one up, Jake. Type in Kung Fu, Nintendo, and the beginning was and then there was this guy. He was trying to save Sylvia. That's why he was fighting Kung Fu.
Not Silvio.
No. So I don't know his name, Kung Fu Man, but he fought all these people to save Sylvia, but there was this big boss who would go, ho, 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 ho. It was Nintendo. I played it growing up.
Main character was Spartan X, Jake.
Spartan X!
Jake is telling you.
Yes. Find the music, though, if you can. I know there's people out there that played Kung Fu. Joey's in Kingston. Joey!
How you doing, Joe?
How you doing? What's for dinner?
It's funny you ask. I'm actually sitting outside the Royal Garden restaurant waiting for my pickup. It's probably cold by now. Small. I got a son. My son's sick, so I'm going to get him chicken and rice soup. And just for me and my wife, just chicken fried rice and fried wonton. So small tonight.
Nice.
Anyways, that music you were playing, I'm a little older than you. That was that Kung Fu karate type of video game, right? They had whips, chains. I mean, they really messed each other up, right?
Oh,
He's talking about Kung Fu, Joe.
Kung Fu. I don't remember. No, I'm talking just a video game. I think you're
All
thinking.
right. This is a video game from a long time ago. But anyways, I watched the Diggs thing today. Did you catch the hot mic after? Vrabel in the parking lot?
I did not. What did I miss?
He told Diggs, he said, leave the cannolis. No, leave the gun, take the cannolis.
I gotcha. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Anyway, so Joe, let me go to a year ago. A year ago this time, my wife asked me, and this was during the free agency, which wasn't much. She goes, so how's the team going to look next year? And I'm like, no, there wasn't much of a splash. And we don't have a quarterback to speak of as now. And we have a rookie, coach that we don't know what's going to go on. Here we are a year later, and I'm sitting here after the Diggs thing, and you said this, and I love it, because I watched the interview today. He has swagger. He might not be ready for the first week, but he's going to bring something to this team, and I love it. Never mind what Vrabel's done already. We haven't talked about this. Vrabel being hired a week after the other coach being fired. Man, he's kicked ass and taken names, and I love it. And after today, there's just so much optimism. We're not going to the Super Bowl, but there's something here now, something to work with. We got teeth. Am I wrong in saying that?
I think you got something there, man. I think you got something. Appreciate the time. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. And he can go, and he would make the noises. I won't do it, but when you punch, the noises. But can you find the boss? He would go, ho, 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 ho. And he'd like hold. Maybe Joey's right. I think Sylvia was chained up. I think she was. But he'd be like trying to get her, and she'd be crying. And ho, 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 ho. Didn't that sound like it, though, Skez? That music?
Oh, I'll give it to you, Joe. It's close enough. Yeah. Directionally correct, I believe, is what we call that.
Thank you, because I don't know what direction we were going with that. Joey calls in all the time. I love Joey. What was the last thing he said? I don't remember.
He was kind of just saying that the Patriots have a little bit of teeth now. They have a little swagger. They're on the comeback, Joe. Vrabel's turning it around.
Do you see why I said, do you think it was forced? Because I want to get the takeout first before someone else does. How about that? Because I'll never forget Hunter Henry's, all these guys on. Well, first off, I want to thank Mr. Kraft, one of the best, and then Bill Belichick. Who wouldn't want to play for Bill Belichick? It was like glazing, right? It was a giant glazing. Are we not getting that with this Mike Vrabel stuff, or should I just keep it to the, Michael? He's now Michael Corleone Vrabel, the Godfather, getting rid of all the capos. All right, they're all gone. I think Hunter Henry's still here because he's a good soldier, But the rest of them out. See ya. No one tells Mo Green what. Well, you know what? No one tells Mike Vrabel what to do. Is that too many references? Hey, Justin and Lynn, good seeing you last night, buddy.
Thank you, Joe. And I'm going to try to come down again. I'm going to try to come down again on Saturday when you're down at the Peabody place. What time are you there?
I don't know. Let me read the read, and I'll let you know. But I love your old man. I met your mom. They're good peoples, man.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to give you a take on the press conference from Stefon Diggs today. I thought he's very professional. He's going to be a leader on this team, and I think that's what the Patriots need is a leader. And I think it's a really different direction with the Patriots team. Can I have your thoughts, please?
Well, I'm a little upset about the Bentley stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. Thanks, Justin. Bird's texted me. He's back from Florida. You make a kung fu reference and you hear from people. I'm telling you right now. Man, and he's always in. I don't want to make the noises, but he's fighting and kicking. And did you get the boss? Did you find the boss yet?
We've been unable to track down.
Let me find. I gotta find
Kung
him.
Fu boss.
Now I need to find the Kung Fu
Jake,
boss.
I need a year on this. I need a year this game was released. Do you think this
Jake.
game is older than Jake
Me?
and Joe?
I'm 43.
You think it's older than you, Joe?
Listen, well,
1984. So
that's when it came out, 84?
It is older than all three people in the studio back
I was
here.
born in 82, yeah. Wow. Man. It was funny. Big Jim asked me over the weekend, what's the first video game that you remember? And I think it was Snake. You know that game that you play with like
it was like an early iPod game too.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I feel like that was, and I
like
played
tanks.
So, dude, Atari was what was like the first game that we had. But again, I went to Catholic school.
Pong.
No, we had so it's Oregon, right? But why do we call it the Oregon Trail?
It's too early for this, Joe. It's way too early for this.
No, Jake went to Arizona State. You're a graduate now. I can call you that, right? Are you one of those guys? Did you get like your master's or anything or any of that? So like, are you like Jake?
He hasn't graduated yet.
Oh, whatever. I thought you were like Jake Seymour, MD, something.
Yeah, toss an MD on.
Did you ever
there.
notice
Why
that
not?
on LinkedIn? You ever go on LinkedIn?
Not often enough, Joe.
Okay, listen.
You know,
I know. I'm a guy that's got to keep my LinkedIn.
You're a networker.
No, but I have to though. So, but now, you know what? I feel like sometimes people big time me with their education because they'll say their name and then give me all like what they did in life. Dude, I got nothing. What do I put?
Hyde Park All-Star.
Catholic Suburban League champions 2000.
That fits right in the bio.
3-time all high school. What do you put up there? I got nothing. You know what? I should just put a chicken wing. Speaking of that, Street Team Joe's here tonight. Who was there last night, by the way? And did you see the bandanas? Or
I caught a glimpse.
I'm sorry for the people that have no clue what I'm talking about, but that's kind of the norm on the show. But Joe has a bit he wants to do later, and we're spitballing something. It is now air frying, and it might be cooked. So we might have to do that later on in the show. All right, let's get to the headlines here. I don't know what we're going to do next, but you know what? Stay tuned. You'll find out after the headline.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
executive decision tonight. We are. Have we done it yet, Skaz? Have we done? Well, we've done a live taste test, no doubt about it.
Joe, you were doing them last night. What are you talking about?
Did I do the
There was a Toll House pie. There were some egg rolls.
Oh, I did the Toll House pie live?
I don't know if you did the pie live.
But you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it, yes. The YouTube got to see it.
Yes, I have ate the buffalo egg rolls live on the air. You should have seen the fajitas, bro. They took the fajitas out of the kitchen, right? And they walked it by me like it was on purpose. I was like Garfield floating through the air. Anyways, but we're going to try something later on in the night. Street Team Joe is going to go on a voyage, a fantastic voyage. And, well, they're coming up with the bit. I'm just going to be here. What's up to our friends on chat? I see the brokerage babe in there, Brother Bluto, Carrie Ann, Arnold, Super Joe, Ein Bind is in there as well. Tom G. We got our crew tonight. What was the over-under for the show going off the rails?
I think if you had 7:35 tonight, the under you cashed. I think is where we're headed tonight, Joe, and I'm all for it on a Friday night.
Well, I really did. You saw the rundown, right? I sent you guys
very detailed rundown.
Patriots moving on from Bentley. Steph Diggs was introduced.
The captain's curse, Joe.
Captain's curse. See, again, how do I not think of the Godfather here? Like, I really wonder how Gerard Mayo feels. I really do. Remember last year, he thought they were going to burn some cash. But that one got real quick. But now, Vrabel comes in. And it's like, I'm taking over all the families. The capos you have right now, see you later. Out. I got my guys coming in. Yeah, you can keep little Elliot. That's fine. I got my guys who are going to oversee it, though. Even though he's in charge, I got guys overseeing him. I can't remember. Can you remember a version in sports where someone has come in and just literally pulled a Godfather move? The Dodgers just spend the money, so that's kind of, the Yankees have always been semi-consistent. Washington did it right. They got new ownership, brought in new coaching staff, and I wouldn't consider Dan Quinn the Godfather, though, would you? No. Well, we'll open that up to everybody. Godfathers in sports. Guys that come in. Bill Parcells was a Godfather. That guy was a made man. Belichick was a made man. He just needed some time in order to do what he wanted to do, but he won early on. We'll leave that on the table at 617-779-0985. JP's in North Providence. JP?
Joe, I got a call early. I'm going on the dreaded double date. Oh boy. I'll just have a couple of drinks when I get there.
Well, no, hang on. Let's one at a time. Double date. Is it your friend or her friends?
Oh, come on, my friend. Come on, Joe. No man in the history of mankind. It's her friends. Come on.
Is it man and women, or like is it a
Yeah, it's a double date.
Married?
I'm going to see a show.
Married?
Yeah. They're married.
Oh God, they're gonna be judging the hell out of you, bro.
They like me, but I just have a couple of drinks and I'll just grin and bear it and go with it.
Yeah, but dude, no, listen, JP, if you can hang out with your date in a double date situation, and like that's cool. Now you'll start getting invited to like their beach house or like hey.
Yeah, I've already done that too, and let's.
Well, what's going on here? What's the problem?
Let's go on to the take, Joe. It's not that heavy.
What is it? Is it the guy?
No, I like other couples, but this particular couple's. I hope they're not listening because, boy, they'll know my voice, Joe.
No, but what is it though?
Let's just say I'm a little more refined and polished after a few drinks.
Ah, got it.
So, hey, would Mayo be Fredo in this analogy?
Oh, my God, yes. Sleeping with the fishes.
That's all right. Aaron Rodgers is probably Johnny Fontaine. He's begging for a job now. So, Joe, 2 important points. One, you brought up the George Foreman grill. Sorry, but your air fryer is not even in the same league. That's one of the greatest inventions of all time. You remember the name. You remember the grease on that
Yeah,
Foreman
you still
grill.
using it? You still using it?
And
No, you're not. You're not using it anymore, are you?
What, the Foreman grill?
Yeah.
Of course I got one. Come on.
Get out of here. Nobody still uses a Foreman grill.
It's a blue one. Of course I do. I've still got that bad boy.
Can you send me a photo of that when you put
I will.
Put it in chat some night or tweet at me.
Oof. I might have to show up.
Yeah, you might just have to find me at an event to show me on your phone. Is that where you're at when it comes to electronics?
That's where you delegate, Joe. But listen, maybe I'll bring it next Saturday. The 2 important questions. Can we get Skaz and Kendra at the event next Saturday night? We got MMA. We've got, college basketball. Let's get the whole crew there, Joe.
Well, listen, I've invited everybody. Skaz is always welcome. He just has to drive an hour and a half, which I don't think he cares about.
Where are you at next Saturday, Joe?
Game time.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you set that up?
I'm trying to set you up.
Game time, Pee-wee.
Yeah, maybe I'll make an appearance.
I met JP there. JP's met the G. JP is now like, he's in. You're in, right?
Anywhere I could get free fruit and free drinks and drop your name, hell yeah, I'm in. You have an event at McDonald's at Soldiers Field, I'm going. Don't care.
The double date just happens to be listening to the show and heard the last caller say everything, is what someone just told me.
Oh, boy. Well,
you know what,
it wouldn't be the first time.
May I say something on this?
Of course.
There are
Leroy gave me great advice for a year. I listened.
You know what? Sometimes in these situations, it's good to just call them out for it and laugh. It's like, I don't know what it's like after a few drinks. Ha ha ha. Something like that.
Oh, I might try that. You don't stand me wrong, Joe.
Like, hey, they could be like, hey, JP, you never know what we do later. And I go, yeah, you after a few drinks,
they were
never
busting me
know.
up, They busted me up. I was drinking Prosecco's and they're banging shots down. I said, well, somebody's got to get the 4 of us home. This was last week, so
hey, if
I'll get a little snarly. Let's try it.
Shots? What kind of shots?
I don't know. I was drinking Prosecco in a rock bar at Capone's.
I love
Capone's. Oh,
you were there?
Yeah, last week.
Dude, I live right there.
I know. I was there last week. Let's just say Magia's was more my crowd than that place.
Yeah, there's a spot. There's a spot I got to tell you to go to. There's a spot.
There you go.
We'll talk.
Almost there.
We'll talk. Thank you. Appreciate you. I like the guy. Did you know, by the way, Skaz, I'm late, of course. Did you know The Godfather came out 53 years ago this week?
I did not. You're right on the money, Joe.
I was just told. 53 years ago this week. So does that mean if tonight was the Friday night, The Godfather would be... Oh, there it is. Have you watched The Godfather Street Team, Joe? It is wonderfully written. Is it long as hell? Yes. Is there a lot of characters? Absolutely. But I will say this. It still goes hard. We still quote the movie.
Hot take. The Godfather. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Some people don't like The Godfather. Oh, here's another one. Godfather 2, better than Godfather 1. How about that for a take?
I think I'd co-sign that.
Do you know what I did one day? I watched the new director's cut where they actually do it in order. It's confusing. Imagine something that's actually in order. Confusing. Only for me. All right, we got to take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray, and this hour of the sports has been, of course, brought to you by our good friends over at Valvoline Innocent Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You can save 15% off an extractor oil change at Valvoline Innocent Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Joe Murray, and I'm not a made man.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Looks like the brokerage babe has some stuff on the hump book. It's almost like the hump book is a real thing. Because it is a real thing. The new Celtics owner has a book, or his wife has a book called Hump. Who's going to play left tackle for the Patriots? Speaking of getting over the hump, huh? Who's going to play left tackle? Right now, it's probably Vidarian Lowe, right? Maybe Caden Wallace gets a look over there at some point. There's a lot of talk about who to take in the draft, whether it's Will Campbell, etc. Mike Vrabel met with one of the most controversial left tackles in the draft. A lot of people don't know about this guy. We were actually talking about him yesterday, though. It's Josh Simmons of Ohio State. Very controversial for a couple of reasons, but when the Patriots have the 4th overall pick and Mike Vrabel goes to Ohio State and he goes to the pro day, he wants to talk to some of the guys. Ohio State's got plenty of athletes. Josh Simmons is a great left tackle prospect. Mike Vrabel spent a lot of time talking to Josh Simmons at the Ohio State Pro Day. Patriots have a need at left tackle. Simmons is, well, draft pundits are all over the place when it comes to his projections. Heavy.com recently said Simmons is certainly talented enough to address the Patriots' needs despite his torn patella that he had. And that's what hurt him last year, but there's concerns about Simmons that go beyond his injury. Those concerns relate to an article written by longtime sports writer Bob McGinn. He mentions that an unnamed scout told that Simmons has issues. It's more about his football character. He has a complete crazy sense of urgency. Total finesse player mentality is an issue. Like, these are just some of the quotes regarding the player. He lacks power, struggles to be an anchor. His fundamentals are poor. Plays like a guy who was at a JUCO and just came to Ohio State. I don't know the guy at all. But the little I've watched of Simmons, he's good. The reason why he's probably not the highest pick in the draft when it comes to tackle is because of the injury. The 33rd team said he's the 7th best prospect overall at any position. Right now, he's projected to be the 4th offensive tackle off the board to Houston, who, by the way, moved on from their left tackle. PFF said he's a top 10 high-risk, high-reward prospect. They have him going to Miami at 12. NFL.com has Simmons going to the Patriots with their 2nd pick at number 38. No one outside the Buckeyes program can speak to what any of these scouts have said. But I'm sure Mike Vrabel's interested. What no one can disagree on, though, is Simmons' measurables. 33 bench press reps, right? They've compared him to some other top tackles. He would have had the most reps at bench press than anybody else at the combine. Josh Simmons is 5 months removed from tearing his patella tendon. He did a brief workout at the pro day. He's big, smooth, and fast, said some. I'm reading a couple of quotes here. The perimeter game opens up when your offensive tackle runs like the wind. I'm sure Mike Vrabel's interested. I don't know what's going to happen at the top of the draft. I really don't. I don't know where Simmons comes into the equation here for the Patriots. I'm just trying to bring up the fact that Vrabel, I think, has really gotten to know this guy. He's sat down and met with him and talked to him. I bet you there's interest. If there is a lot of risk here, could he be available at 38? All I'm saying is if Carter, Hunter are available to the Pats, don't be surprised if they move up to get Simmons. Now, I loved Isaiah Wynn when he came out of Georgia, but there was some questions if he was a tackle or not. There's no questions at all if Simmons is a tackle, at least to me. I know there's some talk about could he play inside, but to me, he's a left tackle. And by the way, I haven't really been able to talk about this a lot, but I have my own tier of who the best left tackle is coming out of college. I'm not high on Will Campbell. Do I think Will Campbell will be an NFL player for probably a decade or longer? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't know if he's a tackle. To me, Kelvin Banks is the best tackle in the draft. That's my opinion. I watch a lot of college football. I'm not always right on these things. To me, he's the best. I also think Simmons, as far as upside, is probably your guy. If we're talking about a guy being an actual all-pro left tackle, to me, it's Simmons. To me, it's him. And I know that most of these guys are set out to be that right away. Like Will Campbell is been projected. This kid, Membu, is a really good tackle, but guess what? He's a right tackle. The kid from North Dakota State, again, you're going to be drafting a guy that played at a lower-end school. Josh Connerly, to me, is more of a type of Josh McDaniels tackle. He's lean, but his strength is still up in the air. There's no doubt about it, though. The kid from I like him a lot. Ursery from Minnesota. I think he's a real second-round pick. He's a great zone blocker that can be a left tackle in the league. He keeps rushers in front of him. I don't want to bore you with lineman talk. There are people who love Will Campbell. I didn't love his game last year. I thought overall, him and Jones, the other tackle, were poor. I thought Nussmeier kind of saved them at times. He's got length. I think he does have some limitations when it comes to flexibility. But I think he's more an interior lineman than a tackle. I think he's more of a guard than he is a tackle. So to me, Josh Simmons, highest upside to be an all-pro at tackle. But if it was Joe, you got to pick a guy today, it's Kelvin Banks. That's my guy. We're going to talk to Mike Kadlick. We'll get his thoughts on the draft and Stefon Diggs and other things. We'll do all that coming up next. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We are sending Street Team Joe on a mission. And, well, the mission is about nuggets. Riz just hit me up, bought a 50-piece nugget, in or out on 50-piece from Wendy's. We'll find out.
I always recommend checking the show out on YouTube, but I would say tonight especially, you might want to tune into the YouTube.
Well, let's get some football nuggets. It's Mike Kadlick. He's joining us here on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline from Sports Illustrated. Is that correct?
It is. I am Joe. Thanks so much for having me. It is Sports Illustrated. It's Patriots for CLNS. And right now, I'm actually working on ironing out some full contract details for Stefon Diggs. So once I get it all lined up, we may be able to tell you about it here on the air. But for now, yes, we came home from the Diggs press conference earlier, and things are looking better in Foxborough. So, yeah, it's getting good, wouldn't you say?
Where'd you get your pizza from tonight?
Conrad's. Right down the road.
Norwood.
Yes.
Yeah. Get some Mike's Hot Honey on that, too, huh?
Yeah, did you see the tweet?
I'm looking at it.
I know, it's good stuff. Are you a Roni with Hot Honey guy?
Absolutely.
It's good stuff.
I love Conrad's, too. Shout out to them over there. All right, dude. So a couple of things. Let me start with Juwan Bentley. I was surprised because he's a good player. I know they brought in their own linebackers, but little surprised. But I look at this as the Godfather and Michael Corleone, coming in, getting rid of the old bosses, you know what I mean? Like, there's a new boss in town. He's getting rid of all the rest of the 5 families, and while all the capos are going down, another one, Juwan Bentley today, this after David Andrews, both failed physicals. Don't love that part of it, but Juwan Bentley's gone. Is there a new boss in town, a new Godfather?
There is 1,000% a new boss in town, and that boss is Mike Vrabel, Joe. I think that is exactly what today's move tells you. Now, both on and off the field, right? I think for starters, we saw the move they made at the linebacker position, right? Now granted, signed Robert Spillane to a big deal. They re-signed Christian Ellis after, they kind of shell out a big chunk of change to him after he had originally signed an offer sheet with the Raiders. And on that, he was essentially making around the same amount of money as Juwan Bentley was per season. And as soon as I saw that, I felt like the writing was on the wall. The fact that a restricted free agent, former special teamer, waiver wire was going to be making the same as your 7-year veteran Super Bowl champion captain linebacker, that just was not going to gel to me. And I thought as soon as that happened, Bentley was probably on his way out. Now, it is definitely a complete changing of the guards, like you said. I mean, now we have David Andrews on the outside looking in, Dietrich Wise signed with the Commanders, Jonathan Jones, who wasn't a captain, but, was among the top leaders on the defensive side of the football. It felt like that Vrabel's really trying to make this his own thing. And I thought at this time last year, as optimistic as I was, and I'll fully admit it,
Oh, did we lose Mike? Hello? This is so weird, huh?
He's up. Maybe he's in a dead zone. I don't know. That pizza? I have no idea.
Is he talking back there, though?
No, it says he's on, says he's up. Can't hear a thing.
Mike! All right. Well, I don't know what's going on there. Brokerage Babe says, why are we talking about The Godfather so much? Well, have you seen the movie? What happened was the real Godfather died. And then when Michael came in, he got rid of all the other capos. So I'm making a reference to The Godfather of Mike Vrabel coming in and getting rid of all the captains. Make sense? I hope that makes sense to everybody. I'm just trying to, put it all together here. Mike's back.
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, Joe. How are we doing? Where were we?
Know what it sounded like? Do you remember back in the day when you'd get a call, but you'd get the call waiting, and it would beep every time someone was calling in?
Oh, yeah.
It was like that.
That's so weird.
We're back. You're good now.
All right.
Bentley's gone, and, they weren't going to have, I think you mentioned the money they brought into a guy isn't going to make less than what the money that...
yeah, exactly. That happens with the Christian Ellis part of it, and then also just it feels like last year's rebuild, as optimistic as I was about it, it felt like it was sort of a half measure where they get rid of Bill, they keep Mayo, they sign everybody else. Now it's like, let's reset this thing truly, bring in a new group of leaders, obviously a quarterback and Derek May, and let's kind of try this thing again. So it didn't necessarily shock me that they parted ways with Bentley today.
Let me ask you a question. As I asked Gaz, he had a good answer. Name the last player that played for the Patriots that legitimately had swag, like Stefon Diggs.
Oh. That's a great question. I would have to go with Cam Newton.
Oh, good. Skaz said Darrelle Revis.
Okay.
Cam Newton had a lot of swag, no doubt.
Yeah. I'd say Cam. Cam's probably the best answer there. But yeah, I mean, the aura, I feel like a teenager using that word. But
Skaz used the word too.
I mean, the aura that Stefon Diggs brought today was different than anything we've seen, right? And we know the story with the wide receiver position, right? It has not been anything. And even a guy like Julian Edelman, I guess but he didn't really have swagger. He was just like a little grunty, tough guy. And so, I would say it's Cam Newton, and I think the cornerback position as well, it's always been Stephon Gilmore and Christian Gonzalez, and they're just kind of quiet, and they don't really jaw at guys. So no, Stefon Diggs is someone different, and you felt it today. And I know we'll get into it a little bit more, but I just think that this whole idea that he is a diva wide receiver, I feel like that kind of went away today a little bit, and I think that's more so a narrative. Now we'll see what happens. It's still the honeymoon phase, and of course he's not going to come in here and start, talking bad about his quarterback and throwing his hands up. But, at the podium today's all about signing a new contract and being nice about it. But at the end of the day, it's, something felt a little different today, and it was certainly exciting.
I agree with the swag. I do agree with maybe the diva receiver stuff is over. He wants to win. Winning helps a lot of things. I saw the win total, by the way. Did you see it? ESPN Bet has the Patriots at 7.5 right now.
7.5. Okay.
Out.
That sounds about right.
Oh,
no?
I'm under. No way, dude. That's a big turnaround.
Oh, God. Under?
To be fair, I've bet the under 3 years in a row and have been right.
That's fair. That is fair.
But okay, so it's 7.5. We'll get to that another day. But A, do you think he's going to be ready? I don't. B, I don't think Elliott Wolf closed the deal. And just to double down on why I didn't love the idea of Mike Vrabel. And he's gone all defense, and he's really just building the team up the middle, right, with Williams now and the linebackers. And who knows what happens at safety, but so far I think they're a better team. And they've added better players, and nobody can deny that. And getting Stefon Diggs, I think now you're starting to see Cowden and Vrabel's crew closing deals where the Elliott Wolf era didn't.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think... Yeah, it kind of did feel almost like last week when this whole thing happened and the story broke that, he was here and he went to dinner and that whole thing, that once he left, it was like, oh, here we go. They probably saw something bad on the medicals and they didn't, like you said, they didn't close the deal, and it was all, it almost felt like, remember a couple of years back when they had DeAndre Hopkins in and, we all freaked out about it, and then he had the picture with Judon in the locker room, and then all of a sudden he left and he signed elsewhere, and the rest is history. No, you're totally right. There's been a couple of those now with Milton Williams as well, where he originally agreed to sign with the Carolina Panthers, and then this regime, whether it was Vrabel, whether it was Cowden, whether it was Vrabel and Cowden saying, hey, Elliott, we'll get back on the phone and get this guy to sign here, something's different where you're right, they are closing deals. They are making it, I guess, a little bit more, I don't know if they're making it more appealing to play here, but they're at least ponying up the dough to get guys to sign here. Like Stefon Diggs, with the amount of money he's going to make with the age and the injury concerns, like the Patriots had to do this because all they all they have is money. They don't have a ton of talent, but you have the money to go spend it, and they did. And so, yes, I would 100% agree. It feels like they're actually clearly putting pen to paper, but also whatever negotiating tactic, whatever it is they're able to do, they're actually, getting guys in the building and, getting them to sign on the dotted line. So it's definitely been promising so far.
All right, Mike, I'm going to lead you to what you were just talking about. There was a time where I thought the Patriots were going to sell us on, man, we really tried to get guys this year, so just going to push the money off towards next year. So I think that the Diggs move just kind of, I wonder if Tyron Smith is like, whoa, I'm not saying I want Tyron Smith. I'm just saying, I wonder if other free agents turned their head and called their agent after Diggs signed. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
The Patriots need to become more desirable, right? So the fact that they do have the young quarterback, the fact that they have spent money in free agency and just acquired a player and paid him with risk, right? I think now they become more desirable. So the fact that they have all this money, I'm not going to get on them this year. You're not going to hear me say they didn't spend. No, I know nobody wants to play here, but that's why you have to pay the money, right? So now I'm wondering if Tyron Smith is like, maybe I'd play in New England for $12 million guaranteed for a year. Maybe somebody else is like, hey, you know what? If the Patriots are interested, maybe I would. So I am now starting to look at it and say, hey, next year when they become more desirable, they're now going to have the money and they have to now spend the money.
No, absolutely. And I do wonder about a guy like Tyron Smith if that is the right fit. I know
I'm just using him as a name, right? He's just
sure.
But now is he hey man, if the Pats give me $12 million, I'll go there.
Right, and I even look at it like DK Metcalf a couple weeks ago, where maybe his decision would change. Now we don't know what they offered. We don't know what they offered him on a contract, but 2 weeks ago, when that happened, it was DK Metcalf wants to play in warm weather with a team that has a cemented quarterback. And then he signed in Pittsburgh with the Mason Rudolph Steelers. So that was a load of barnacles for a SpongeBob term. And he really just wanted to sign with or get paid as much money as possible. And that's what Pittsburgh did. It was the 3 years or 5 years, $30 million, excuse me. And so if the Patriots were going to pony that up, or if the Patriots now, where they have gotten this, this influx of average to above average talent, maybe DK Metcalf will change his mind. So yes, I do think that next year, right, you're setting yourself up to get that DK Metcalf player, that player next year where, okay, yes, we build this season. We actually sign guys. We win 6, 7, 8 games, and we start to slowly build. Drake May starts to improve. And then when the next wide receiver or tackle that isn't happy in his situation or is on the trade block, now the Patriots become a desirable destination because guys have seen it, guys have played here. You're going to pony up the money, and maybe you start to set up a little bit of a foundation. So they're on the right track. I don't necessarily believe that this is an immediate playoff team next season or anything like that. I'm going to also slow it down a little bit, but it is promising, like you said, that they're actually things are going across the finish line, and it hasn't felt like that over the last couple of years in free agency.
Yeah, Zoe is stirring the pot about another wide receiver. I'm just gonna throw this out here. I really think this, Mike, and I adventure into the gambling world often. I like to read what people are writing, and I think that this Brandon Ayuk thing's real. What I mean by real is the 49ers have until April 1st to, I think, pick up a $26 million option. He's off an ACL. He's probably not going to be ready. But if the Patriots want to do the deal, it's just they got to pick up the money and probably swap a mid-round pick.
And would you do it? Would you bring in another? Would you bring in another ACL guy on top of Diggs?
I would. You know why? Because you become more desirable, and it's just the money, right? Because think about it, they want to pay Brock Purdy. They've moved on from so many guys. They have Pearsall and Jennings, right? And they got young receivers ready to go. To me, it's just they signed them because they it was the best interest of the team, right, to become competitive again. I think it's real. Is it risky? Absolutely. But you know what, though? Having Diggs, Ayuk in year 3 of Drake May's run, now you're talking, bro.
No, I don't disagree. And I think if you sort of bridge it and you set it up, right, where, okay, you go get Ayuk, and, yeah, maybe he's not fully healthy right away, and, yes, we know Diggs isn't either, but you essentially have both guys. You have Diggs in the building now. He sort of sets the foundation, and then whether things go awry with him or not this year, then you have Brandon Ayuk to sort of be the long-term plan, where Diggs is the stopgap bridge. He's the bridge receiver, if you will, and into a Brandon Ayuk deal. So, yeah, I do think that there is a little something there. I also do wonder, Joe, like this diva thing we talked about with Stefon Diggs. Like right now, right, he comes in and he is the chosen one. He is the guy. He is the number one wide receiver for Drake May right now, and he knows it, and that's the money they ponied up for him compared to everybody else in the room. And so, yeah, I wonder, he seems great right now with all of it and the situation that he's in, but if you then bring in Brandon Ayuk on top of him, how is he going to feel, right? And the argument to that would be, well, he was in Houston last year with Nico Collins and Tank Dell and all those guys and did just fine, and I agree. I just wonder if when you start doing, all of this, bringing all these guys in on top of each other, whether it starts to kind of make some problems in the room. So we'll see what happens. Yep. But, at the end of the day, I would take a guy like Brandon Ayuk, and I would take Ayuk over Stefon Diggs. He's younger. He's played better lately, so let's do it.
We'll disagree on that one, but let's not argue about it. What are you hearing about the draft?
I am hearing that it feels as though the New York Giants actually do want to take Shadur Sanders, and that means the Patriots are going to have one of Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter actually fall to them.
Win.
I would love it. And who are you on, Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, Joe?
Oh, I'm Travis Hunter all day long. Dude.
Let's go. We agree.
Mike,
this is great.
Mike, I don't want to be that guy who says I watch college football and do all that. Like, I'm not going to flex my chest and all that, but the people, like I heard people this week say, he never played against a ranked opponent, which is wrong. Did people realize that he was in the Pac-12 like the year before that had the greatest Pac-12s, the last Pac-12 all time, and one of them played in the World Championship? And like, how many of those quarterbacks went pro? Bo Nix? And I just think that like people are really just clueless when they talk about college sports.
Right.
No, like really, like Travis Hunter to me might be one of the best players I've seen. Jeez, I'll have to think about it, but he's absolutely dynamic.
Are you interested in shuffling the conversation for a second? Because I now do have Stefon Diggs' contract details for you.
Boom, but you're in on Hunter.
I'm all in on Hunter. Travis Hunter is my favorite player in the class. I think he fills two major holes for you. Obviously, at receiver, he would help, and then cornerback. Yes, you did sign Carlton Davis, but he can play both sides. He's not going to play both sides all the time, but he is somebody who you play him on either side all the time, and then you spell him in a couple times on each side of the ball. I think he can genuinely play both.
If I were the Patriots, I'd just throw him at receiver and then occasionally have him be like a nickel or like on a big fourth and long play or something, Hail Mary at the end of the quarter. He's in there. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. But let's get. I'm curious. So, what's the exact signing bonus and what's his annual salary?
All right. So this is through Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer. We just got this, and we actually just posted on the site. It is $16.6 million fully guaranteed, and $22.6 million guaranteed for injury. It's essentially a year-to-year deal. $12 million signing bonus. He gets $2.9 million base salary in 2025, and then he gets like per game roster bonuses and all that for the 2025 season. And then the following season, it's $22.5 million in 2026 with a $20.6 million base salary, 1.7 of which is fully guaranteed, and then $6 million more is guaranteed for injury. So that one big guarantee at the top, which is the $12 million signing bonus plus the base salary, is really the big chunk of change. And then if they keep him on the roster in or if he's healthy in 26, he gets $6 million more, and vice versa. So it's really a 1-year deal that they can essentially get out of after 1 year.
Okay, so I see it. $16.6 million is fully guaranteed.
Correct.
So boom, 16.6. He's getting when he signed the deal today. He got 16.6 million.
Exactly. That's nothing.
Yeah,
That's nothing.
I agree.
Chump change. A perfect signing. It really is.
So if he plays the games, he'll get $3.4 million per game roster bonus.
No, $3.4 million that's $3.4 million across the season. So divide it by 17.
Oh, 17. Oh, okay, I got you. So really, it's $16.6 million plus incentives.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Done.
Nothing. A great deal. And we make fun of the Patriots for doing these deals because that's what this is. But they got it across the finish line, Joe. I think that's what we started. That's what we said at the top. Where yes, it's a little bit of penny pinching here and there, but I don't think Diggs had a market elsewhere. So I mean, he said it himself today that he didn't visit anywhere. He had some interest from other teams, but this is good for the Patriots where they can get out of it rather quickly, but the upside is all there.
So just to dumb it down, he's going to get $16.6 million for signing today, and if he hits everything and plays right away, he'll make $22.6.
Exactly.
Got it. All right, Mike. I appreciate it.
Easy enough.
Good job on that.
Of course.
We're still working on a date to get you in, so we'll when we find out. Well, once the Bruins end, things get a little easier here.
We'll make it happen. We'll get in there for some pizza. We'll do a full hour. We'll have a lot of fun. Let's do it.
Real quick, but
yeah,
who has your favorite chicken nugget and the best chicken nuggets?
Okay. Wow. Chicken nuggets.
Fast food.
Yeah. So, like, do chicken strips count? Like.
Sure.
Like, are we talking like Chick-fil-A or...
Yeah. What do you got?
Raising Cane's chicken strips are amazing. I would say the Raising Cane's is the best one around I think I've had. They're really good.
Where is there one? I know there's one in Saugus.
There's one in BU. There's one in... I want to say it's on Boylston Street. They just made one.
Okay.
So I think there's 2 in the city. And then... But the Chick-fil-A nuggets are also a classic, and I could eat those things like popcorn. Like, those just go. And the sauce, all of it's pretty good. Why? What's yours?
You'll have to find out later.
Oh, here we go. A big market tease, huh,
right.
Joe?
We're doing an experiment tonight.
Okay. What time?
Late 9 o'clock hour. Late 9 o'clock hour.
I'll make sure I tune in.
All right. Well, it'll probably go viral anyways.
Love it. Sounds good.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. We'll talk to you soon.
It's Mike Kadlick, everybody.
Later.
SI, CLNS does a great job over there. He just came up with our money. We'll tell you what those details are right now in headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, well, Juwan Bentley was released today, but the big news was Stefon Diggs was signed his contract, and we have the details. He's going to get 16.6 up front. And then if he plays everything, base salary, roster bonuses, incentives, he'll make $22.6 million. Not a bad deal. Sweet 16 in action right now.
Need a new Will Smith album in 2025?
Do you know, we don't. We do not need a new Will Smith album in 2025, but here it is. We have it. Who is okay? I'm a Will Smith guy because I grew up on it. Okay, like parents just don't understand was the jam when I was a kid. Okay, Nightmare on My Street was awesome. I watched The Fresh Prince. I went through all the different mothers. I loved Jeffrey, Carlton Dance, all of Hillary's husbands. You name it, I've been there. I watched The Wild Wild West and Men in Black. I was out on Hancock. Never liked that one. That was bad. I don't know if I'll ever get that back. Is this like a Mad Will or Bad Will?
I do think it's kind of taking on that voice. I think the intro to the album is a bunch of critics, all the things people have been saying about Will Smith. So maybe this is his response to those critics. I would just say you're a 50-year-old man that has made hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't think we need the...
Yeah, Will. Will.
Just go do another movie.
Will.
You've done great.
You slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah. A small blemish,
It was a bad
Joe.
look.
A small blemish.
Keep your wife's name out of your mouth. Got it. Did you pick on Chris Rock? Yes, you did. Do you now suck? Yes. Don't come out with an album because you're pissed. It's not like he needs the money. By the way, has he ever sworn in a song? I hate to say this, but I felt like I got Kanye Drake vibes. Did it feel like that kind of flow, like the
Joe? That's an insult to Kanye.
I am very insulting.
Definitely not Kanye. To Drake and Kendrick.
Okay, no Kendrick. I didn't mention his name. Bing bang boom bang boom. Jesus, we got ourselves our first dong of the year. Well, on the air.
Yeah, now we don't have to worry about spoiling them, Joe.
Red Sox are on, everybody. They gave up a dong. Will Smith. Let's tease this one for in or out, but who are you more out on? Will Smith or Stephen A? We got in or out coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
he plays all the games. Headlines, they are brought to you by... Oh, and Jawan Bentley got released. Headlines, they are brought to you by our good friends over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. Make this season your season with the solution for weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray. Next update soon. Are you in or out?
Some people play the game.
Jaylen Brown. Blocked by Horford.
Some talk about it.
Let's welcome to the Sports Hub Celtics show, by the way. Jim Murray, Chris Gasper.
The Sports Hub Celtics show with Murray and Gasper. Saturdays at noon on the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed. Anyways, what do we got here tonight, guys? Did you see that guy's hair?
In the Michigan State game?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little Bob Ross-esque.
Is that what that was?
I don't know.
Look at you guys again.
Yeah, maybe a little Bob Ross. I don't know. Yeah, it's...
Do you think I could ever do that?
No, Joe. I don't... I've seen very, very few pictures of Joe Murray with hair.
Oh, I told you I got captain I think it was my junior year. I got captain for the football team. So everybody goes, why don't we shave our heads? And I go, yeah, let's do it, guys. Never grew back on the top. I had great hair too, man. I had locks, baby.
What was the longest your hair ever was, Joe?
I had curls as a young child. I used to have I used to do the bowl cut, and then I used to have a flat top as a kid. And then I had a part.
Joey Flat Tops. I would love to see that.
I had a little part every once in a while. Again, I went to Catholic school. Man, when I had an earring in 5th grade, I loved Barry Bonds. Got my ear pierced. What was wrong? What was wrong with getting my ear pierced?
Nothing.
Well, at Catholic school, I tell you.
Apparently so.
I don't know if I've ever shared this. There wasn't a nun, but it was close enough. But
directionally correct to a nun.
Directionally correct. But they grabbed me by my ear, and I'm like, don't touch me. So I put a Band-Aid over it. That's how I got around it.
Yeah, you were Nelly before Nelly.
Exactly.
Put the Band-Aid on.
I was cool, man. I had my left ear pierced. Just one, though. People for years were like, how come you only have one ear? I'm like, isn't that what was in? Or was it out? What do we got tonight, guys?
All right, Joe, a Friday night edition of In or Out. Feels good to be back. I don't think we will have a single In or Out next week, so we will...
I know, shows all next week, dude.
Games all next week, yeah.
I mean, games.
Yes. Yeah, well, I don't think we're on until 9:45
At least we'll get 10 to midnight and stuff.
10 to midnight next week.
So get your Celsiuses ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, we'll start here. Something you've mentioned in your Sports Hub headlines, but the Ravens earlier today announced a 3-year contract extension for head coach John Harbaugh. Are we in or out on John Harbaugh getting an extension?
And what has he done wrong to get fired?
No, I'm with you. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league.
Do you know there were talks last year about if they didn't extend in the playoffs, they thought about, what was all that about? Was that just to put a fire under his ass? But I will say this, though. They do put a lot of money into that team. If, let's just say it's not the AFC Championship game this year, I would at least...
I know. It's kind of shocking. You almost... And they're fine. They're a good team, but...
Like let's say Lamar got hurt, right? The Ravens aren't making the playoffs. I mean, Harbaugh's not going anywhere this year, but... Let's say Lamar can't run anymore. Is he even a quarterback?
I think so. I'm a big Lamar believer.
I'm higher on Lamar than most, but you asked the question. I said Tomlin.
All right, Joe. I know you're a man that doesn't drink soda anymore, but you were at one time a big soda drinker.
I'm addicted to soda.
Well, Coca-Cola announced they are bringing back the Share a Coke program, where all the Coca-Colas will have your first name on them. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the Share a Coke coming back?
This was huge in my 20s. Yeah, I used to go if you want, say you're talking to a girl back in the day.
So was Will Smith, Joe.
That's right. That's where my corn comes from, the corniness. from Will. But yeah, let's just hypothetically say I'm working with Jake tonight, right? And I went and got myself a Coca-Cola, and it said Jake. I'd be like, here you go, Jake. But, you know, there's a lot of Marys, a lot of, like, Lisa's. You know what I mean? But, yeah, in the 20s, guys, that was kind of a move. Hey, got you this. I thought of you. I don't know how far it took me, but you know what? It's the thought that counts, right?
It's the thought that counts,
But
Joe.
that was a big deal. What would yours be, James?
Yeah.
Imagine if it just said Skaz.
Pretty standard. Yeah, I don't think you're finding that one out there. Certainly not. Joe, but you're a man that's headed to Vegas soon. WrestleMania on the horizon. This from WrestleOps on Twitter. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk will officially be main eventing WrestleMania 41, night 1. Joe Murray, are you in or out on this as the main event, night 1?
In. So, believe it or not, CM Punk has never main evented WrestleMania, ever. And the storyline truly is that The Rock always beat him out of the storyline. So, officially, CM Punk is main eventing WrestleMania. So, on night 1, the final show of the night, will be this match. I am curious who wins because could they have an impact on night 2? So, I'm in.
All right, Joe, sticking with the WWE and wrestling, the WWE announced they will now be inducting matches and moments into the Hall of Fame. The first inductee will be Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13.
Yeah.
So, Joe Murray, 2 in or outs here. Are you in or out on matches/moments getting into the Hall of Fame? And are you in or out on this being the first one into the Hall of Fame?
I'm fine with it. I still think it should be Hogan and Andre, but because maybe of Hogan, maybe they're going with this one because you might remember this, guys, but it was Stone Cold was bleeding in his face, and Bret Hart had him in the sharpshooter, and I think he passed out from blood. I think. So I think that's why it's going into the Hall of Fame. But do I need moments and matches in the Hall of Fame? No.
What would be Joe Murray's? You said Andre Hogan, but like if childhood Joe Murray, you know,
moment?
Yes, if you had to pick like your wrestling Hall of Fame moment, what was that for you?
Homer Joe Murray, Mike Tyson in Boston turning on DX and helping Stone Cold. It was in Boston. It was a big moment. Tyson was the baddest man on the planet. Basically told Shawn Michaels to suck it, and then, pretty good moment, right? There's a lot, though, like Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. The Undertaker closing it on the Ultimate Warrior, a casket.
The Mankind's got to be up there, right?
Undertaker throwing Mankind on that actually might be like, who doesn't talk about that? Who doesn't talk about it? I think he just did like a retrospect of that like this week.
To me, as like a very fringe wrestling guy, like that's the moment.
I met his daughter and asked her about it.
Yeah, she probably gets asked that question all the time.
I was sitting with her and her guy friend there. I was like, hey man, your dad, dude, tooth was in his nose. His tooth was hanging out of his nose. Anyways, that's a good one. You want a JR like, oh my God, slobber knocker.
Who's the third man?
Like you want like a real clip? That's a good one.
All right, Joe. So some movie news earlier today. The original E.T. model from the movie is up for auction. Now, you're a collector, Joe. You like, your cards and your memorabilia. Are you in or out on the original E.T. model being up for auction? And what do you think this thing sells for? It's got to be like tens of thousands of dollars, right?
All right, let's just have some fun with it. You just said, hey, Joe, young Joe, what's like things that you remember as a kid? So Jaws would be number one. Like, if I could get like a Jaws prototype. I didn't love E.T. But I mean, it was my age, though. That thing's got to be big bucks, dude. E.T.'s got to be over $1 million at an auction. Why are they giving it up? I don't understand.
I have no idea why it's up for auction. I just saw that it was. And it's also very small. It's a lot smaller than you think it would be. You could, hold it in two hands.
My whole thing is hey, man, that's the original ET in my house right there. Fully authenticated. I paid $1.5 million for that.
What would be Joe Murray's number one movie prop to have in his house?
Well, I said Jaws as a kid.
You would want the shark, the whole shark.
Yes. But, no. Number one movie prop. Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe the knife that Andy Dufresne used, that little rock thing that helped him break out of jail. Because Shawshank is one of my favorite. If it's not my favorite movie of all time, it's right up there. But isn't that weird? The little rock.
His rock hammer.
Rock hammer. Right? You get it.
Oh, yeah, I know
what would be yours?
What would be mine? That's a good one. Growing up, I was a massive Gladiator fan with Russell Crowe. Maybe the helmet, or Remember the Titans. Was it T.C. Williams was the school? Maybe Denzel started his jacket or something like that. But growing up, those were probably my two favorite movies. Sticking with movies though, Joe, and video games. You mentioned Kung Fu earlier, but a slightly bigger game. The Legend of Zelda movie has been announced, a live-action film coming out in 2026, I believe. Joe Murray, are we in or out on a Legend of Zelda movie?
And they can't let this one down, though. This one has to be good. Plus, I've been screaming about this for a very long time. I think they have a cartoon, though, Skez. Or they have some sort of game. I always watch, kids playing it. Remember how I always said kids watch other kids play video games?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
This is one of the ones that they watch. So, I'm in on it. They got to make this run. Ooh, who would play Link? I don't know why, but I have Orlando Bloom in my head. Because he was in what? Lord of the Rings? He was one of the elves. He was in The Matrix. I just feel like Link would be an Orlando Bloom type. We don't know who's playing Link, though, huh?
I do not think that has been announced yet.
Can I say Orlando Bloom?
Why not?
What's
I think he's too old, though.
What's Johnny Depp up to? I was going to say
too old.
No, so we need young.
Yes. So quick Google search brings us to an article from GameRant.com. The 8 best actors who could play Link. Walker Scobell is number 8. He's doing the Percy Jackson adaptation for Disney right now. Pretty good kid show. Tom Holland is one of the names.
Yep.
That's and then
someone suggested Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I'm out on that one. Number 1, though, Joe, I don't know if you watched The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti, but Dominic Sessa is listed at number 1 in this. The Holdover is a very good movie if you haven't seen it. Shot mostly in Massachusetts as well.
Who is playing Link in the Legend of Zelda movie?
Yeah, not announced yet, but number 1 on this article, Dominic Sessa, which, I'd be fine with. Sure, he was great in that movie. All right, Joe, we did foods for the MLB over the last couple nights. I had one more sent to me. I think you might have sent this earlier today. But the San Diego Padres are offering banana bread pudding at the ballpark this season. Joe Murray, are you in or out on banana bread pudding at the ballpark?
In.
I believe it is in a helmet.
Someone sent me this one. Do you like ramen?
Yeah, I like ramen.
Would you eat bun, ramen, bun?
No. I'm not a fan of messy eating. I'll avoid foods that are overtly messy. Just not for me.
There's a place at the Salem Willows in Salem that will give you either a tender beef sandwich or a noodle sandwich.
It's like a pulled pork sandwich, but with ramen, is what you're telling me.
You know what I do? I put the noodles on top of the tender beef. Do you know what's how I go in there? I go, hey, can I get a tender beef sandwich, but can you put noodles on top? They go, no, you can't do that. All right, can I get a tender beef sandwich and a noodle sandwich? Or you can just put noodles on the side. So I have to order 2 sandwiches. They won't. They won't put my noodles on the beef. It drives me crazy. Sometimes when I go out to get a clam platter, sometimes I want scallops and clams. But you know what they tell me? We can't do both. Why? Just fry up some clams, fry up some scallops, put it on a plate with some onion rings and French fries. Instead, you got to buy a clam plate and get scallops on the side. Why? Does anybody else have this problem? I have to order a noodle sandwich to get a tender beef sandwich with noodles. Anyways, anything else tonight?
Yeah, sure. Why not, Joe? We've been all over the place. Some video game talk. Joe, a game that was massive in my childhood. I would, be a little nervous to see how many hours I spent on this game as a child, Joe. But Backyard Baseball 97 has returned. It is now available today, right now, on mobile apps, or your app store, wherever on your phone. The return of Backyard Baseball 97. Joe Murray, are you in or out? The return of Pablo Sanchez.
In. Backyard Baseball, bro. So that was the kids, like they were like young kids, right? And they have a group of them, and software update. Hell no, I'm out on software updates. I didn't mean to bring that one up, but yeah, Backyard Baseball had like the little Charlie Brown looking kid with a hat, right? And
Pablo Sanchez,
and he's eating pizza.
The legend. I don't know if he was eating pizza, but yeah, one of them.
Chicken parm on a breaded roll, triple decker from Bob's in Medford.
Probably not, Joe. Like even like a plate of wings that's like overly messy, I'm not really messing with.
What if you wore a bib?
What am I, a baby?
Well, no, I wear a bib when I crack lobsters.
Yeah, okay. Seafood is a little different. If you get like a boil or something like that I can handle. But just things that are unnecessarily messy, overly saucy or overly cheesy, I'm out. I'm out on that.
A triple beef three-way, you'd be out on. No, like you wouldn't bite into a triple beef three-way?
No, that's probably the line right there.
By the way, big news.
Big news.
James River barbecue sauce you can now buy at Market Basket.
Should have hit the sounder, Joe.
So I don't know if people realize this, but James River is what is the beef sauce of choice. Other places will do other sauce, but if it ain't James River, I'm out. Rafael Devers is out to play, everybody. What do we think he's going to do? We'll tell you on the other side.
Got a unanimous strikeout from the back room here.
What is he right now? Threw it in Slack a little while ago. What is it? He is 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts on the year. Well, we'll tell you what happens next. It's a 2-2 count. Coming up on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, guys, I'll be... If we could hear that again, Skaz, because I just, what I got out of it, because Stephen A is having a bad week, I feel like.
I'm just wondering about Stefon Diggs. You go from Josh Allen to C.J. Stroud to Drake May. You sure about that, bro? You sure? Are you sure? I mean, I just think it's a legitimate question to ask because no matter what you are as a receiver, it don't mean a damn thing if the quarterback can't get you to
move the football.
Yeah, he gets cut off a little awkwardly at the end there, but yeah, he says, it doesn't matter if the quarterback can't get you the football. Seems like kind of a shot at Drake May.
Why is Stephen A throwing shit at Drake May?
I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask, Joe. Oh, Joe's Sweet 16, locked in.
Did they just hit a late 3?
Yeah, Ole Miss did, yes. 73-70 final.
Do you know what the line was?
I know what I had.
The line was 3.5.
That's why you take it live and you get it at 1.5.
No, I got it.
Oh, we were on the same page. A little halftime there. Me and Joe were all over that one. But, from Stephen A., how many games did Drake May win last year?
1.
He's unproven.
I
think it's a fair question. I know Patriots fans aren't going to like that that's what Stephen A. Smith said. And, my first thought is, look, I love C.J. Stroud. I think he's, he has the skill set and the ability, and he was on pace his rookie year to be one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. That didn't exactly happen in year 2. So, there's a chance Drake May is in that mold as well, where he regresses a little bit next year. But, if you're the Patriots, that can't be your worry. Your worry is getting talent around Drake May, and that's what they did. So, if you have questions about Drake May, I'm with you a little bit. He hasn't really proven anything in the NFL. He's proven that he has a good arm and can make some plays, but there are still a lot of question marks around Drake May.
There absolutely are, but I don't know. When you get a guy like Stefon Diggs, that should make things easier for him, right? I don't know. I don't know, Stephen A., you're already questioning Drake May, but he's never had a fair shot. No, being dead serious, Drake May never had a fair shot. He was better than Jacoby Brissett at camp. They wanted to ease him in. They started worrying about him because of the offensive line. Then he got a concussion, and he started running around, and they really started protecting him. He never got a fair share. The line was horrific. He never had anybody to throw to. I just think saying anything about Drake May, it's a little too premature to me, but hey, I guess the jury's still out there. But last I checked, Bo Nix was pretty good with a bunch of receivers, right? I don't know. How was Jaden Daniels with Terry McLaurin? He's pretty good, right? What's J.J. McCarthy going to be like with Justin Jefferson? I guess that's the story then, right? Because Caleb Williams, yeah, they built stuff around him. Rome Odunze, and they got, DJ Moore and other guys. I just think that Drake May has a better IQ.
They just got Zacchaeus, too, from Washington, who I think is a good, third or fourth option there.
A little premature. That's all I'm saying.
A little premature, but question. I'm fine with the question.
I have a question. We'll do it on the other side here. Oh, that backdoor cover, huh? Wow, that sucks. Man, they've been really on the number, man. These odds makers. What the hell's going on in Memphis? Let's talk about that on the other side. We'll get a look at the headlines. Oh, and I got to tease this. Street Team Joe's back. He has gone on a mission. A chicken nugget mission.
I just think of the Blues Brothers when you say that. We're on a mission.
We're going to do some chicken nuggets live on the air. A taste test.
A blind taste test. We're going to put Joe Murray, his nugget knowledge to the test.
I'm prepared for this.
Joe, I
have experience.
I would say you're a pretty confident guy, but during one of the breaks, we asked your confidence level. I would say it's probably as confident as I've ever seen you about anything.
Strong to quite strong. Got to tell you. That's coming up after the musings. We'll get into some of the NBA stuff next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right. Murray. What a bad beat if you had Michigan State 3.5. Oh, woof. Woof. What the hell happened with the Memphis Grizzlies today? The Memphis Grizzlies are in the playoff hunt, and they fired their coach. For what? The hell is all that about? It makes no sense to me. It almost makes me sniff around like something's fishy. I don't understand why that happened. I feel like I need more on that. So Memphis has dealt with a ton of injuries, right? But they fired Taylor Jenkins today. So have it make sense, please. They parted way with Taylor Jenkins today, a move that was so surprising that everyone's speculating what is going on. It makes zero sense. 9 games left in the regular season. Jenkins is 40 years old. He spent 6 seasons in Memphis. He's been the longest tenured coach who hadn't won a championship. The Grizzlies are very resilient. They're a good team. They've been injury-plagued all year long, though. John Morant missed 30 games. Brandon Clark just, hurt his PCL? Marcus Smart got traded. The Grizzlies are, I'm going to call them, are they a Western Conference contender?
Maybe with the injuries, no, but heading into the season, you would have thought. And then with all the injuries they've had, I'm sorry if you mentioned this, but Taylor Jenkins was top 5 coach of the year. Betting, wherever you looked, he was a top 5 coach of the year candidate. And just to add a little context to this too, Chris Mannix had this late this afternoon, but he said plenty of surprise in rival front offices to the news of Taylor Jenkins' abrupt dismissal. Jenkins caved to everything the Grizzlies asked, texted one executive, referring to Jenkins' staff of people last summer. He'll get whatever job he wants, texted another executive. So Jenkins already had his staff taken over by the Grizzlies.
And he stayed.
when he definitely didn't need to. A very viewed as a rising star in the coaching ranks. So to me, this is a Ja thing. This is a system thing. Something is amiss there, though, for you to fire your coach when you're the 4 seed in a tough Western Conference this year, right before the playoffs. It was, I was shocked by it. You almost have to wonder, and we don't want to speculate about, things that are going on behind the scenes, but a situation like this almost lends you to think those things, because why else would he be fired?
I have no clue. I need more on this. Looks like, Tuomas Lasalo will take over? Do you know who the favorite is after him to be the next full-time head coach? See that?
Doc Rivers.
Steve Nash. LeBron's buddy.
Yeah, he's got a podcast to do. I don't know if he could take that job. Imagine LeBron loses another podcast partner to a head coaching gig. Wonder if LeBron would end up on the Grizzlies after that, from Redick to Steve Nash.
Can I throw another one at you?
Sure.
3 former Celtics assistant coaches. Charles
Lee, Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell is 5-1 odds. Damon Stoudemire.
No, yep.
Jeff Van Gundy.
Who's the guy that went to Penn State? Micah
Shrewsbury.
Yeah. I wonder if he, makes his way back into the NBA at some point,
too. Can I throw another name at you? Dan Hurley.
No. If he's not leaving for the Lakers, he's not leaving for the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm sorry to Grizzlies fans.
You're not buying it.
Dan Hurley to Memphis? He just spent a summer turning down the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James.
I know.
He's not going to Memphis. And while we're on the Hurley thing, I've heard McCone a little bit this week and other, college basketball people. What do you make of Hurley and his antics and, the tunnel? There was.
I think he's a hardo.
Yes. I don't care.
Isn't that college sports?
Yes. That's what these guys are.
I'm just saying if he's here's the deal, right? He's not even the most popular UConn coach of all time.
And he never will be.
He's not even the second most popular UConn coach of all time.
No, Calhoun and Gino are both
Yeah.
And maybe if he wins like 4, but Calhoun's a legend.
Dedham, Mass. Went to Dedham High School. I'm just throwing Dan Hurley's name around everywhere now.
Well, the thing with Hurley, too, it's not like he won 2 national championships and then became this guy. He was always this guy.
Oh, yeah, URI. He was a fiery...
He's a lunatic.
Yeah, one of my kids I played high school ball with was an assistant coach on the team and had plenty of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been a fiery, crazy guy.
Dan Hurley is good for sports. He's very good for people like us. I think, I don't think every coach should be a Dan Hurley, but I have no issues with Dan Hurley. He wins. He runs a good program. Is he annoying and bombastic? Sure, but you can be a lot worse things, especially when it comes to college athletics. So I have no issues with Dan Hurley. He's kind of pompous and a little tyrannical at times, but
wow, you're using some Gasper words right now.
That's college sports.
Bombastic, and what was the other one?
Tyrannical.
That's getting real highbrow.
I mean, he's not throwing punches like some college coaches have done.
What are you, James Scaramuzzino? DPD, DD. Whatever.
Yeah, throw an MD on there, Joe.
Tyrannical? Does that mean like a tyrant?
Yeah.
Boombastic. They call him Mr. Boombastic. What else? Anyways, I just feel like at some point things are bigger than UConn. Can I say that?
Like UConn is bigger than Dan Hurley is what you're saying? Or you're saying like the Grizzlies are bigger than UConn? Are they?
I know you'll battle me on this one. He gets out of... What does UConn become when Dan Hurley leaves? You think they're still a prominent contender?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Ollie won a national championship at UConn, didn't he? You ever heard of that guy again?
So you think that UConn is better than Memphis?
Yeah, I think so, Joe.
What's better, the Lakers or UConn?
The Lakers.
Is he an idiot now for not going?
No, because of the situation. Well... So that's where I think it gets a little tricky is these legacy jobs. Like UConn could be a legacy job for Dan Hurley. If he wanted to be there for 30 plus years, he could. If he wanted to do the Coach K, the Roy Williams, Nick Saban, whoever it is, that kind of job, I think that's an ideal job. That doesn't happen in the NBA. You don't get coaches really that are, 30-year coaches, your Spos, your Popoviches. Those are much more uniquely rare in the NBA than they are in college. So in terms of that, if you want to tell me that UConn is a better job for job security, yeah, I would co-sign that. But in terms of profile and Dan Hurley getting his name out there is, no bigger jobs in professional basketball than the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, do you think that everything that's happening with the sale of the Celtics, Sam Cassell could leave and other guys on the staff could leave? Because that's what happened to Belichick.
Yeah, I think you've already kind of seen it a little bit with the Celtics. You just mentioned Charles Lee, Micah Shrewsbury. I think that's what happens when you have good programs and good coaching. Now, it didn't really work out for those Patriots assistants that left, but I do think that that's what happens when you have a good team and a good program. It's happened to numerous different teams. The Warriors lost assistants. The Thunder have lost assistants. It's what happens. So yeah, that's something the Celtics are going to have to deal with down the road. But I think that's more of a positive than a negative.
All right, Skess. This was a stunner today, though, I got to tell you. We'll find out.
Who was the last NBA coach that was like Dan Hurley? That ran a program like that?
NBA coach?
Yes. It's tough to think of one. Larry? Larry wasn't as maniacal on the sidelines, but you hear the stories from Chris Mullen and other guys that played there. He was tough.
Larry Brown, probably.
I was saying Bird.
He was fiery.
Tibbs. Jake has said Tibbs is similar.
Tibbs is a good one.
Even he's not like that and over the top on the sideline. So.
Only reason why I say Larry Brown was because he did get a taste of college a little bit. Yeah, I guess Tibbs, right? Most guys are pretty laid back and chill. I still think Dan Hurley made the wrong decision.
George Karl.
Oh, yeah.
He was
People loved him, though.
He was kind of a lunatic.
Gary Payton, he'll, glaze all day long about him.
Jerry Sloan, I think, was kind of a lunatic at times, too.
Kind of. He was there forever.
Yeah, Darren Williams didn't like him at first, and then I think, became a fan of him.
Huh.
Would you say Pat Riley's like that?
Man, Pat Riley, definitely. The thing with Pat Riley, though, was he was a player who really, if you just listen to him and shut up, you'll win. Problem was, it was hard to shut up. Worked for Shaq, though, right? Worked for D. Wade. Worked for all those guys. Riz says PJ Carlesimo, who I love on the broadcast, by the way. I think he's more radio, or was he TV?
He's done TV, but I think more radio now. Local guy, too, I believe.
He used to do a bunch of NBC Sports Boston as well, when Tommy wasn't around. Well, we got an update on the Red Sox. We'll tell you what that is, but next, we get the musings here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And Nuggets! I'm ready. We'll do that right after that.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Santander Holdings U.S.
What took something? Let's just call them grocery store. Cashier person goes, I removed. Isn't it always first come, first serve? But what if you move your place in line? That's their fault, right? Like, this isn't like a, when you go out with your friends, you ever like, hey, go out of the car, you wait in line, I'll come meet you. Like, that's a move. When people do that, do you ever say anything to anybody? Because their place is in line, right? Has that ever happened to you guys?
Joe, I'm not even sure I fully understand the situation. So you're in line at the grocery store. There's a man in a line next to you. It comes to be your turn, and the cashier says, I'm sorry, but this man in another line is going to cut in front of you right here.
Bingo.
Yeah, no, that's never happened to me, Joe. I don't know if that's ever happened to anybody.
Okay.
I'd be a little miffed if that happened to me.
I questioned it.
Yeah.
I went, well, no, it wasn't. Anyways, where I'm going with this is this. Have you ever been waiting in line, let's say at I'm just going to use the word club, or like a movie, or amusement ride? I drop street team Joe. Hey, Joe, go wait in line. I'm going to go park, and then I'll meet you in line. And when I come into the line, does anybody ever say anything behind you? Do they have the right to say anything to you?
I think it really depends on what it's for. You listed out a bunch of examples there. I think there's different etiquette. If it's like a show or a movie and you're having to buy tickets or something like that, I think that's saving a spot's tough in that situation. I'm out on that. But if it's something like everyone's just going in and they're trying to go in with their friends, the tickets are already bought, then I'm more lenient.
Okay, I'm guilty because how many times have I said, "Hey, go get in line, I'll meet you." And I dare someone to say something to me.
You almost want them to.
I want them to. No, but for real, would you say anything? Like, don't get me wrong. If I've been in line, the registry? Oh, bro.
Oh, there's no saving spots at the registry.
Bro.
Can't be.
No. So I told you I was in the car business. Well, we used to have this courier service that would take... There's line stepping, right? Line cutting. Like, you know what? I used to work in the tech business back in the day. We'd get catered lunches every day. Who cuts a catered lunch line? We're all going to eat. But it's happened. You ever been cutting a catered lunch line?
Who steals 40 bagged lunches, Joe? But yeah, it happens. A catered lunch, maybe like a golf tournament or something like that. Because if you're playing one of those afterwards, there's usually catering. I've probably gotten cut in one of those, but after 18 holes, you're not too worried about someone cutting you in line.
I have to admit, I am a line cutter.
That's Street Team Joe, everybody.
I'm absolutely
You're a line cutter?
A habitual line cutter?
Yeah, like every aspect. I would say one, like Regina Pizza, we're going to a Celtics game. We're always, hey, we'll drop you off. We'll go park the car. Then we're coming back, and you'll go
on the line with them.
By that point, I'll be...
I'm okay.
But I do that too.
I think I'm okay with that.
But like if I'm going to a club or a bar... and I know someone who's in line, I'll go up, dap them up, and be like, "Yeah, what up, brother?" And then I'll just go.
I got one more for you. Skaz, what if hypothetically you and I were walking down the street and there's a line, but about 40 people in front of us, it's like, let's just say it's like Matt McCarthy and like Tim McCone.
What's the line for?
Meeting the Undertaker.
Yeah, then I think that's a dick move.
I'm not going to say any names, but there is somebody I know who does that. Like, has asked me to meet them up there, and I said, "Nah, bro, I'm not messing with this crowd." Happened at the Undertaker show. True story. Hey, just come on. Who's gonna say something to you? No, I'm gonna wait in line.
I'm so not a line guy that if I see a big line, if it's like if I'm buying one or two items, or if I'm just there I'll just leave the store. Or I'll just get in the line. Like if I'm driving by somewhere and it's overcrowded, I'm just not going.
On my way home the other night, I got out at 6. If you remember last week, on my way home, it was free cone day at Dairy Queen.
I hit that up. I knew that. Wasn't it March 20th, right?
Yeah.
Free cone day?
Yes.
But they charge extra if you want your cone dipped.
Okay.
That's where they get you.
Well, I went like 128-ish home, so I cut through Middleton because that's the Dairy Queen near me. That line was ridiculous. For a free ice cream cone?
Hey, it's the beginning of spring, Joe. DQ opening marks the beginning of spring.
I get that, like, going to, like, Richardson's on the North Shore, like, Bubbling Brook. It's like hey, let's go hang out and, like, get some ice cream. But I'm not waiting in that long-ass line for a free ice cream cone.
But if you would, what would you get?
If it was just a cone?
Yeah, just a cone, but I want to hear your... If
ice
you were
cream,
going to DQ...
If I was going... Okay, I would probably get a Blizzard if I was going to DQ. But my ice cream of choice is a watermelon sherbet. I go half and half. Half watermelon sherbet, half chocolate sprinkles with chocolate chip cookie dough. Sorry, half water... I said that wrong. Half watermelon sherbet, half chocolate chip cookie dough with chocolate sprinkles.
And that'd be from like a family-run
Richardson's.
place. Richardson's, okay.
You ever had Richardson's?
I have not had Richardson's. I've had Kimball's. Is that
close? That's close enough.
Close comparison.
What's your way? You're up on Route 9-ish, right?
Yeah. So we have a Yeoman's in Westboro, which is
never been there.
Outstanding homemade ice cream. But if I want like legit, I'd go Kimball's, and I'd go black raspberry, half black raspberry chocolate chip, half banana.
Banana's fantastic.
Banana, I can't pay me to eat a real banana, but I will eat banana ice cream.
I am a chocolate sprinkles person, and I always ask for a cone.
Obviously, yeah.
Do you know what I do is I eat it with a spoon, right?
Yeah.
And then I break pieces of the cone off and scoop it.
What type of cone?
Just not a waffle. Just a waffle. I love a waffle cone. 3 scoops of a waffle cone.
Or you're a sugar cone guy.
Yeah. It was free cone day at Dairy Queen.
I hit that up.
How come I can't hear you that well? Do you have to talk? Is it the mic? Talk a little bit. Say I'm Street Team Joe.
I'm Street Team Joe.
There you go. I'm Street Team Joe.
Brought to you by Dairy Queen.
Okay, so I wanted to just go into break with some. You know what today's date is?
Today's date? March 27th?
No. You guys really are two peas in a pod in there. It's unbelievable. It is March 28th.
Is this Joe versus the calendar?
Joe versus the calendar.
Come on, within a day?
The calendar's the third man.
Today, today is what month? What number month?
3.
What's the date?
28.
Get it?
Yeah.
3? 28? Getting it? No?
No. Not
First and goal for the Falcons from the 5. Cedar motions left to right. Coleman to the left to Ryan from the gun. Extends the hands, takes the snap, backs up, stands and flares it right for Coleman at the 5. He'll outrun Ninkovich inside the pylon. Touchdown Atlanta. Brady stands in the pocket alone. In an empty set, readjusting Amendola and Mitchell. Tom takes the snap, backs up, looks left, throws it for Amendola. Touchdown Patriots! From the near hash of the 36. Shotgun snap to Brady. Stands in, throws down the middle for Edelman. Ball's tipped, and Julian diving for it. As Olford cut in front of the receiver, Edelman has it. Did he make the catch? He did!
You gotta be
at
kidding
the 40. And the Patriots await the ruling by Carl Cheffers, the referee.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver's hand is under the ball. The ball never hits the ground.
Shotgun snap to Brady. He got it off in time. He stands.
We're letting him fly.
He throws to the right. Amendola plucks it at the 25. Runs to the 20. He's tackled there by Poole.
Keep it
and
going.
A first down for the Patriots. Brady under center. Tom takes the snap. Quick throw to Amendola. Screen left. A flag as he reaches across the goal line for a score. There is a penalty marker on the play.
They're offsides. That's in.
The Patriots with an apparent 2-point conversion. A conference by the officials. It's a tie game in Super Bowl 51.
High fives for everybody. Give me some. They won, right? They were down 28-3.
High fives for everybody.
Did you see Bill Belichick's girlfriend wearing the shirt?
Unfortunately, I did, Joe. Yeah. It's really cute.
Let's knock some birthdays out because I want to know what we're up to. Happy birthday to Lady Gaga.
You a Gaga fan, Joe?
Yeah, in. I love Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I'm with you. She's doing every March Madness, like into commercials, like Lady Gaga.
Love, love, love. I want your love. Reba McEntire. Wow. Did you hear that one? I'll never be able to say that with him. Reba McEntire. Wow. I can't do it. Reba McEntire. 70. Vince Vaughn, 55. Julia Stiles. Was she loving basketball?
The Bourne series, too. She was Matt Damon's love interest, I believe.
10 Things I Hate About You. 44. Wow, she's the same age as me. Gaga's 39, for those that care. Any other birthdays you got?
Joe, I had a good one. Hold on. Maybe not. Diane Weiss, Joe, 77.
Umaga, former wrestler, no longer with us.
Rick Barry, 81 years old.
Wow.
Jerry Sloan, R.I.P.
Wow.
Jerry Sloan's
Talk
birthday.
about just right on. People are sending me Larry David clips. Did he have a line issue?
Larry's he's had a lot of issues, so I would imagine at some point probably.
All right, well, we'll hit a headline real quick. We'll tell you what Rafael Devers did again. So, Joe, we're eating nuggets live on the air.
We are doing a live nugget taste test challenge blindfolded.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will be run by Jake.
And Jake's
the
gonna help
MC.
us. And what's Skaz going to do? Play-by-play?
He can do play-by-play, but he also...
I think I'm hosting. Yeah, pretty much. We're going to get Jake in there. We're going to get some blindfolds. Jake will show the chat. We'll get the wide feed. Jake will show the chat the bag that the nuggets are coming out of. You'll be given... So my question to you guys is, do you want to guess the same nugget? Like, is it going to be a collaborative process, or should we give you each different nuggets and you have to... Joe versus Joe, we're going different nuggets.
I think we should go one-on-one.
All right, different nuggets it is.
I'm done. I'm in.
I'm done. Haven't even started.
I think the line is like I'm plus 250, maybe you're minus 100. If we're
I'm
doing
very
live
confident
lines.
in the situation right now.
I don't feel too great, but I feel good.
In. All right, we're going to eat some nuggets. Coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio.
Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Sweet 16 action right now. Michigan State advances. They won 73-70 over Ole Miss. Tennessee's moving on as well. They beat Kentucky 78-65. Auburn and Michigan tied at 9 right now. They just got underway in Houston, Purdue. The late game tonight. Red Sox trail 4-1 right now. Bottom of the 7th inning. Rafael Devers has struck out in 7 of his 8 at-bats. Also struck out with the bases loaded. And he struck out 3 times tonight again. That's not good. Not good at all. Oh, and Juwan Bentley got released today. Headlines, they are brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. Make this season your season with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray. It's time to eat some nuggets.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Jake's here. Wow, I feel like I'm like stuck in between the both of you. Well, you got Jake stuck in between the both of us.
We got it all figured out. Don't worry.
All right, so you guys are good.
Absolutely.
All right, so go to youtube.com/985 The Sports Hub. You can watch live. 123 people are in there right now. And Street Team Joe went out and got a bunch of chicken nuggets. I did. Turn your mic on. And is your mic on? See that button over there that says on? Right here. There you go. Thank you, Skaz. You're learning. He's learning. He's a young grasshopper. I don't know what nuggets you got, and I don't know what sauces you got. So I'm ready.
Should I reveal the 4 places I went to at least put us on an even?
Yes.
All right. Stop number 1 was Burger King. I have roughly 8 nuggets from Burger King.
Okay.
I got 2 4-pieces. Stop number 2 was Wendy's.
Okay.
I believe we have a 10-piece. I asked them to just throw random sauces in the bag, so none of us have an advantage.
Okay, all right. So we don't know what sauces.
Could I have checked in my car? Maybe, but no one will ever know. And then McDonald's we also went to. 10-piece from there, and KFC.
Okay, I don't think I've had the KFC nuggets
I don't think
before.
I have either. Skaz let us know that KFC now has nuggets. They were premiering them pretty hard when you walked in.
Okay, so I have my own phone that I'm going to record some of this on.
Get some good social media content.
That's what we're. That's
gonna do it in 2025. Versatile.
Joe,
MMJs.
we are on YouTube. You have the ability to get all of this footage.
Do you want me to send me? Can you send me a link?
You want me to,
a Zoom link?
If you want to zoom into,
I'll zoom it from my phone.
All right,
let's do it. Send me the Zoom link. All right, so
the production quality has jumped through the roof in the last 2 seconds.
Well, you know what it is, Jake. It's because you're here. That's why. So I'm in. You ready? So what are we? We're going to be blindfolded.
I think we should do one at a time. No, or should we? Are we each going to get one right off the
rip? We're each gonna. You guys are both going to go at the same time.
All right.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you different nuggets. So you guys are not choosing the same nugget.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So
you guys show the T-shirt too.
Yes. What are our blindfolds, Joe? Show everybody.
We got Kelly's roast beef T-shirt.
Nice.
Right from Revere Beach. Look at
All right. So this is what we're going to do. Let's pause. We'll get everything ready to go, and then we'll start dipping.
Okay.
You ready? All right. We'll take.
Is Jake going to hand us? He's going to hand us
the
dip.
Yes.
The plates,
we got plates here and everything.
I planned this out.
Okay. And I'm going to get us so you can get a different kind of view. So we'll have the regular view on YouTube, and then we'll get the mobile view. How's that sound?
Ready to rock.
All right. Stay tuned. Next, we got Nuggets here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
Sports 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
All right, Jake. Well, you have everything ready to go.
I do. We got a whole plate set up. We got all the sauces, all the nuggets. We're ready to go. Locked in.
All right. Well, Skaz, I guess, are you hosting this?
Who's up first, Skaz?
I'll be honest. I have no idea what I'm doing, what's going on. I have the utmost trust in Jake, though. I think we have a vision for this. We'll see how it goes. This is one of those things where the Joes, as I will refer to them, they've been wanting to do this. This wasn't just something that they decided this morning. This is something they've been clamoring to do for what feels like months. And I said, yeah, we'll find a time. We'll get there. Sure enough, Friday, Celtics and Bruins are off for a couple days. His Sox early in the season. I think we found a perfect time for a little Joe versus Joe on Nuggets. So let's get into it.
All right, who's going first?
Let's. I want you both blindfolded, though. No peeking.
Oh no. Okay. All
no
right.
peeking. Yes,
right.
Joe. I don't. Come on now.
I'm going down.
I know Alex Core is on your TV, but we abide by the rules here.
No sign stealing.
Yeah. No sign stealing.
Okay.
So Jake is operating this. Jake will hand each of you a nugget, and I want you to identify where the nugget is from. Jake will show the chat where the nugget is from.
So Street Team Joe is getting this box, so we can see it on the camera. Okay, so Street Team Joe, that's your nugget.
Can I eat it?
Yes, you can eat it. And Murray, you're getting this nugget.
Is this my plate?
That's your plate. Hold on, I'm putting it on there.
Okay.
All right, it's on the plate.
Okay.
You're all set. So you can take a bite of that. Street Team Joe's, he's already killed his.
Okay, I have touched the nugget. Do I have a sauce or two?
No sauce.
Do I just eat it?
Yeah, eat the nugget plain.
Okay,
We got to get a nice clean palate first before we add in the mixture, the sauce, I guess.
Well, this has to be KFC.
Okay, Street Team Joe, what's your what's your pick?
All right, so I definitely know it's not McDonald's. I know it's not KFC. I'm between Wendy's and Burger King. I'm going to go Burger King.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to give you with the sauce now from each of these restaurants. So go. All right, Street Team Joe, here's your nugget. There you go. Careful with the sauce. Get the sauce all over. It's all right. You got it. All right, I'm going to take Joe's fork for this one. Probably was smarter to do it like that. So
I'm getting a nugget and you're giving me a sauce.
Here, you put the plate down, and here's the fork.
Some people in the chat are suggesting that Jake, you feed it to them, but
I'm not feeding it to them, sorry.
no,
I'm not doing that.
I would strongly advise against.
You can put the fork in your mouth. I put the nugget.
But is there already
No,
sauce?
I got the sauce on. Yep.
Oh,
so all you gotta do is just eat it.
All right, here we go.
Okay. All right, so it's the same nugget as before, but now it has a sauce on it.
Okay. It's a KFC chicken.
What was that, Joe?
KFC chicken.
What's the sauce?
It's a barbecue sauce.
So I will say, we'll just say this right now. Joe did get the nugget. It is a KFC nugget I did give you. But KFC has a unique names for its sauce. It's not just like barbecue or ranch. They have specific names.
That's a tangy barbecue.
So that was the KFC sauce, just their brand name sauce. So I think you got it. I think we got.
I think I'm close enough.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right,
Joe.
So did I get the nugget correct?
No, you did not get the nugget correct.
It was Wendy's, wasn't
it? It was McDonald's. The staple. Couldn't get the staple.
Wow.
Specifically said, this is not a McDonald's nugget.
If I can't get the McDonald's one right, I'm in trouble.
Okay. So what do you think the sauce was?
I want to say honey mustard.
It was honey mustard.
Nice.
Okay. You did get that.
So that's half a point for him?
Half a point. All right. So here we go now.
I really can't see anything.
Good. That was the point. I can't see anything.
Like I need help with this whole activity. So what's next? The new nugget, the new sauce?
New nugget. Okay, ready?
Let's just go. Yeah, let's just go with the plain nuggets. See if we can get the nuggets.
This one is for Street Team Joe.
Are you putting it on my plate or?
Here.
All right.
I'll hit you again. That worked last time.
It's so dark.
And then Joe Murray is getting this nugget.
Okay.
Okay. Put it on your plate.
And don't forget my phone. You can use that as another.
Oh, yes.
As another. All right, so we're just going straight nugget.
Back and look at the tape, Joe, but no tomfoolery here.
I need give me some sauce and let me see if I can.
All right, going for round 2 here.
Here we go.
Okay. This is the correct sauce.
Are we starting a new round right now?
All right, Joe.
Joe, you already got this one right, so we're just gonna see if Joe can figure out the other Joe.
Do I need my fork?
You
Nah,
can
I'm
use your
using
fork. No,
my
you
hands.
can just use your hands. That works. So you get some redemption here. You need it. Need to come back.
Is that Burger King sweet and sour?
So you got the sauce. The sauce you got.
But it's a Wendy's nugget.
It's a Wendy's nugget.
Damn it.
Yeah. That was close.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, that was close.
I know a Wendy's McNugget.
Not that time. All right, moving on.
So
Next
are we
round.
even right now?
Yeah, so you guys are both tied at 1.
All right.
Okay. So Joe, Street Team Joe, you've had McDonald's and the Burger King one. So we got 2 left. So we'll give you this one. Show it up for the people on YouTube. Street Team Joe, that's his nugget. And Joe Murray, you've had the KFC and the Wendy's.
Yeah, I've realized the flaw in our system here is that they're gonna know what the last one was,
Yes,
but that was probably unavoidable.
This is the last or the second to last one.
Okay, this is a McDonald's nugget.
Oh, he hasn't even put his mouth in. He gets it.
I can feel it in my bones.
A lot of drops from this segment. A lot of drops.
Oh, yeah.
Great segment.
That's a McDonald's nugget.
It is a McDonald's nugget.
Thank you.
Did get it. All right. What do you say in Street Team Joe?
That was KFC, and I would like to say I am pleasantly surprised of how that nugget was.
That was a KFC nugget.
Pleasantly
Finally.
surprised.
Yeah, we got it.
Finally.
That was a good recommendation.
I'd never had one, but we were. You tasked me with finding nuggets locally, and I quick Google search, and here we are.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the last round.
Do we sauce those bad boys?
We do not. Do you want a sauce?
Joe wants a sauce.
Yeah, I want a sauce.
Joey wants a sauce.
What a sauce, bro.
You had which one did you have?
I had a
You
McDonald's
you
nugget.
McDonald's.
Now
That's
I need a saucer.
I need a sauce.
Did
There's
Joe
too many
s-
nuggets going on right
Did
here.
Joe sauce?
No, I
Joe
did
did not
not
sauce.
sauce. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're doing one non-sauce, one sauce.
All right, we're on
Got
a
you
plate.
there.
Okay, all right.
Then
Ooh. Oh. That's McDonald's barbecue.
tangy barbecue.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
That's you hand Joe Murray something McDonald's.
He's got it in the bag.
Yeah, I missed it a little bit on
Prime
the first
LeBron.
one, but yes, he's back. He's found his
question
groove.
to that.
The chat disappointed though, Joe. Disappointed.
The Wendy's nugget really did throw me off.
It does have similar texture, I will say. When I was passing off, I could say this could be kind of like the dark horse. to
So
trip
my
you up.
last one has to be a Burger King. Can we sauce it, baby?
Yes, we'll sauce it. Okay, so,
so
Joe Murray is getting a Burger King. Okay, we'll sauce this up. I have to open the Burger King. Hold on.
I have no idea what sauce you just gave me. Is that like a specialty sauce?
It's called the Sticky Chicky.
See,
Sweet
how
and
am
sour.
I supposed to get that? But I was
The
smart
Sticky
enough.
Icky.
I was smart enough to
All right.
know that's outside the spectrum of
All right.
the sauce.
All right, Joe, I put a...
we're sauced.
Yes, your sauce
Okay,
with a Burger King nugget.
Sauced with a Burger King nugget. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Ooh, spicy.
Too spicy?
No. I didn't like it.
Wow, it didn't like. You're out. You're out on the Burger King nugget.
I'm out on the sauce. It was spicy. It was tasty. It's smelly.
You're on the right track.
I want to say it's honey mustard,
Not honey mustard.
but it's too spicy.
So it's the zesty sauce
Zesty.
from Burger King.
It was very, dude.
You were
That
right
was
there.
that was hot.
Yeah, you were right there.
That was a
Very
zesty
close.
sauce.
Very zesty sauce.
Yeah.
All right, Street Team Joe. Next up here. A Wendy's nugget with a sauce on it. You got to try and guess.
I'm glad you said Wendy's because I totally forgot what my last nugget was going to be.
There's only one left.
He didn't know what day it was, Jake. I mean,
Touche.
I would like to go random after this.
Yes, I like that. Yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, fire him back up, see if they can get him.
Can't even find my microphone right now.
You're in the vicinity. You got it. All right, Street Team Joe. What's the answer?
Sweet and sour.
Not sweet and sour. It's, actually, we did not have a sweet and sour sauce from Wendy's. It was the ghost pepper ranch sauce.
Wow, I would have never gotten that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
I've been
That's
hit
a
with some
one.
tough sauces.
All right, well let's do some randos here.
Okay, random ones. All right.
So Joe, this is we're coming down to.
Back with this.
Are we gonna get a champion
I'm
here?
gonna give you
Like, how
both-
do we do this?
Yeah, I'm
guys?
going to give you both. This is how we're going to determine the champion. I'm going to give you both the same nugget. It's going to be an elimination round, best of 3. Okay, and
like
from
that.
this point forward, I'm going to eliminate. I'm going to tell you this. There's one that's going to be eliminated. This best of 3.
Okay.
Okay. The viewers on YouTube, they know it's this kind. This is
Okay.
round number 1.
All right.
You guys, I'll count to 3, and you guys both have to say the nugget.
Okay.
Okay. So one is on your plate, Joe Murray,
Sorry for all the sauce in my
and
hand.
Street Team Joe has his. Okay. Joe Murray is intensely circling the nugget around his fingers. Sniffed it.
He's like a sommelier right now. He's bringing it up to his
He's
nose.
taking it all in.
He's
not
running it
letting
through
this
his hands.
go away. Because Street Team Joe came for his throne. He's trying to defend it. He's not going home a loser tonight.
So are we answering?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can eat it.
Can I eat it?
Yes.
Can I eat it?
Can I wait for Joe to get his
Street
answer?
Team Joe wasted no time. That's already down the hatchet. He's ready for round number 2.
How many nuggets are we on right now? How many have I eaten?
I've lost count. No, 5. Because we've only done 4 rounds, and then this
All
is
right.
the 5th.
It's either a Burger King or a Wendy's.
That's what I'm
Which
stuck
one is
All right,
it?
ready? Okay, on 3, I'm going to count to 3, and you guys both say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Burger King.
Burger King. Joe Murray. Yeah! 1-0 in this series.
Yes!
He's up. All right. Here we go. Round number 2.
He's getting hot. He's getting hot.
Hey,
He's
don't let, him
heating up.
don't let him get hot. All right, YouTube, here's the second one.
Okay.
Elimination game right here for Street Team Joe. Street Team Joe, here's your nugget. Okay, and Joe Murray, the nugget's
Okay.
on your plate.
And how's our Zoom video going?
There's too much going on for me to mess
Okay,
with this.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I let it down. I'm sorry.
We got ourselves a.
Once again, Street Team Joe devours it. It's gone. Joe Murray intensely spinning around, figuring out the circumference of the nugget, trying to understand exactly where this one came from. Takes his first bite. They're waiting the answer. Okay. All right, so again, you guys have both finished the nugget. I'm going to count to 3, and you guys will say it. 1, 2, 3.
McDonald's.
McNugget.
You, tied. We got a tie. Okay.
You weren't getting him a second time with the McNugget.
Wow, all right, so that one, I guess that one doesn't count. It's still 1-0, Joe Murray.
Draw.
So we good with that, Scott?
You cannot sneak a McNugget past
No.
these guys twice. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
All right. All right, so this one we got 2 left.
Okay.
YouTube, this is what it is. All right. Street Team Joe.
It's like tic-tac-toe.
Gun in your
over
hand. Joe Murray
here. Yes, sir.
on the plate.
All right.
Once again, you know, it's funny that the plan has never changed. Street Team Joe puts it down right away. Joe Murray's moving around the fingers, trying to figure it out, taking a few sniffs, puts it in the mouth. Half
He's a
bite,
sniffer.
too.
He's a sniffer.
Yeah, he likes to sniff it, I guess.
Okay. Got it.
All right, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Wendy's.
Street Team Joe, you say Wendy's?
I did.
Okay, we're tied again.
Choking on the nugget.
They're too good. We can't stump them here. We can't get a victor. All right, we got it. We'll go back. All right, ready? This is it right here. YouTube sees it.
So I need Joe to miss
Joe Murray?
and for me to get this, correct?
Yes. And the champion's not going down that easily. All right. They both have their nugget. They both have it. Waiting for the results. Street Team Joe is not eating it. He's kind of taking Joe's method a little bit. He's twirling it around, taking his time. Joe Murray finally gets the nugget down. He's thinking about it. Street Team Joe finally put his down. Awaiting an answer here. Start the count. 1,
I know what it is.
2, 3.
Burger King.
Again. We have 3 consecutive ties here.
I think you obviously the fourth one they'll know what it is. Give them one more random one, and if they draw, I think we got to call it.
Okay. Should I give him a different one this time?
Yes, yeah, just a totally random, and then maybe we have the rematch this summer. We have part 2 pay-per-view this summer, Joe versus Joe.
All right, here we go. Joe Murray's on the plate. Street Team Joe, he's got his. Joe Murray, he wants this one. He's up 1-0, though. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
McDonald's.
What'd you get, Street Team Joe?
I'm going to guess something different so I have a chance at winning. I'm going to go Wendy's.
It was a Wendy's nugget and a McDonald's nugget.
Wow!
We have tied again. That's impressive. You got to just respect game at this point, guys.
I think we got to call it for what it is. That's just a battle of the Titans, head to head.
Wow.
If they started off rocky, a little disappointment in the chat, missing the McDonald's nuggets for both of them after claiming, yes, this is a McDonald's nugget and then being wrong. But I would say a draw. A draw is in order.
I thought I won.
No, well, you were up 1-0.
Joe,
he was up 1-0.
And then and then he tied the last. Yeah, so Joe, you won round one.
I am the champion.
You are the champion.
Chicken nugget champion.
I am the chicken nugget blindfolded champion.
And I dare anyone to come for the throne.
If Street Team Joe couldn't do it, I don't know who can.
Yeah, but if we were taking account the spread, I think I covered.
I got to tell you, though.
You might have.
The Wendy's nugget, that's got to be like the game changer, right?
Yeah.
Because we got it wrong. We both thought it was a McNugget.
We did.
And it was a Wendy's
Good
nugget.
quality.
The feel is the way I felt it.
Yeah.
What I mean is...
Can you say that again, please, Joe?
It was the feel. Sometimes
the feel you felt.
How many more nuggets are left? Do we have any more?
We have plenty of KFC nuggets if you'd like to indulge.
I would like. Can I have a saucer?
Sure.
Give me like a barbecue.
Would you like the we have a zesty pepper. Is that close enough?
How about this one?
I think I was.
Oh, he's mixing them now. KFC and McDonald's.
I had a couple.
So this
cup
has to be
sauces.
chicken on.
I'm going to do a
KFC
KFC nugget in a McDonald's barbecue. What do you think? Guys,
Let's see it.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
One bite. Everyone.
Oh, look at the sauce. Look at that dip.
That's a lot of sauce.
Oh, solid.
In.
What I would do. Ooh, it's zesty.
More zesty than the zesty sauce from Burger King? Some are asking.
Because of the texture of the nugget, it gets a little bit more sauce.
Does it hold it a little bit better, you're saying?
It holds it better.
It up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it better than a McDonald's nugget?
Yeah.
Wow. McDonald's taking some hits here.
Wait, you think the nugget you just had?
The nugget I had with the barbecue sauce was better than the McDonald's nugget with their barbecue sauce.
Wow. That's a hot take.
Wow. We're throwing
I guess you should try for yourself, Joe.
That's a hot take.
Let's give this a try.
Yeah, where were you on this one? I feel like we should need to get Jake in the mix here. All right, everybody. Well, we have fun tonight. Sometimes you got to try a bit every once in a while. I think just the way that we look on the YouTube is worth it alone.
Yeah, I have no idea how it translated to the radio, but visually for me, it was a treat. It was an absolute delight. So,
guys, were you in or out on the bit tonight?
I was in. I was in.
That's good. I hope the viewers were in.
Will you eat one?
I'll have one, yeah.
What are you going to dip?
Well, it's not really fun because I know what all.
Yeah, but I want to hear your reaction.
All right, I'll go. I got a McDonald's nugget with a. This is a Burger King honey mustard. Oh, it's good. Classic.
No reaction at all?
Yeah, but I'm not blindfolded.
That's true.
I understand what's in front of me.
Joe, I second what you said. I think the Wendy's nugget, surprise of the night to me.
It really is.
The dark horse.
It really is.
Kind of like the Patriots coming back from 28-3. The dark horse coming in, sneaking up. No one thought they were going to do it. Sure enough, came back.
All right. Well, people are wondering who the guy in the middle is. That's Jake, everybody. Jake Seymour, who is now the Nugget Master.
Production extraordinaire, Jake.
I can't believe what we looked like with our
Hey, you got the Kelly's roast beef still along the eye line, so people can tell what you're advertising or showing off.
And again, I have been able to identify a roast beef before, blindfolded.
That might be next time. We were brainstorming back here, Skaz, Neil, and I. We were saying that next time we have to get a burger and an Impossible Burger and see if you can tell the difference. Ooh. So a Burger King Whopper and the Impossible Whopper.
Ooh.
And see if you can tell the difference between what's real and what's artificial.
But Joe, for our rematch, are we doing? What's our next food?
It's got to be burgers, I think. Maybe not the Impossible versus regular burger, but it's got to be like a Whopper.
What about wings?
Oh, yeah.
Wings is a good one.
I'm in on wings.
Well, maybe we'll put it out to our listeners.
Yeah, you can tweet him at Joe Murr.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Joey Murr on Twitter. Let us know what our next challenge should be. All right. Well, that was long. Hopefully you entertained it. Sometimes these things are good. Sometimes they're very bad. I have people asking me nugget questions on the now.
That's good.
Man, that Wendy's nugget though, huh?
Snuck in.
Man, we both got that wrong. I'm like
believe-
upset with myself.
You should be.
We were both pretty confident too, and Skaz had it right off the bat. We both missed McDonald's.
I felt like I really did feel blind though, like wondering what it was with senses and everything.
I have
That's
sauce all over my hands and face. Jake.
No, I licked some of it too to get a good taste. All right, we'll get to the headline here. Final one of the night here.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Well, the chicken nugget champion is me. I'm Joe Murray, and I beat Street Team Joe in a on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Thank you to everybody. We had like almost 200 people watching, so thank you. Maybe next time we'll like send an alert to everybody like the other night. Breaking news. Joe versus Joe. Food Wars. People are suggesting pizza needs to be next. I love pizza. I'm rewatching this right now. I'm rewatching Jake show the Nuggets.
I think we had the science down. The process was solid.
Yeah, I got some suggestions.
Yes, we're
someone suggested we taste everything first, give our answers, then we all come together, and then you say were we right or wrong? Kind of like a Guy Fieri show or one of those shows, right?
As the Bruins season winding down, hopefully the Celtics give us a couple more months, but when late July, August rolls around, you got to get creative. We'll be back. We'll be back for sure.
And listen, we're trying things at night. Okay, so if it sucked, I apologize, but I'm not sorry. We almost opened a box of cards too.
Oh yeah, huh?
we don't have time for that.
I want to know what's in that box.
We don't have enough time for that tonight. But anyways, before we get out of here, James Scaramuzino, you're working the Celtics game this weekend. Yes,
that's true. Celtics Spurs tomorrow night on WROR. I'll be doing pregame, halftime, and the postgame. Little 15-minute post. So, yeah, if you're driving around tomorrow night, WRR Celtics Spurs should be a good one. Tatum off the injury report to a little bit of people's surprise, I think. So, I think you'll get Jason Tatum off 2 days, more than 2 days rest tomorrow night.
Okay. I didn't realize I still have the T-shirt on my head.
Yes. Also, Joe, just, we got only a couple minutes left here. The New England Revolution have a game tomorrow afternoon against the Red Bulls. Intern Trent will be going. He's a Red Bulls fan. But Caleb Porter, with some interesting comments earlier today, did he guarantee a win, Joe?
Did he?
Did you see that? I thought you put that in Slack. He said this will be the game that we turn it around. Unless that was Jake or Street Team Joe, but I believe Gustavo Lopez, Soccer with Gus on Twitter, had a tweet from Caleb Porter. This is the game we turn the season around in regards to tomorrow's game. So if you're a Revs fan, I hope that holds true. I guess we'll see what happens. They have not really scored goals this year, which is kind of important.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. We didn't do Joe with the money, but you know what? We don't need to.
Joe, you're Sunday this week?
I'll be Sunday 10-2 with Leroy. I believe. I think. Hey, the Red Sox lost tonight. I am. Okay. Red Sox lost tonight 4-1. Rafael Devers did not do well. Willier Abreu, by the way. Joe versus Joe. I just have people sending me stuff now. I got to go home now? How the hell am I going to go to bed after all this? Hey, this hour of the sports is brought to you by Valvoline. It's an oil change. Enjoy quick convenience and go to getanoilchange.com to save 15% off your next draft oil. All right, a lot of thank yous tonight. Thank you, Street Team Joe. Thank you, Jake Seymour. Thank you, James Scaramuzino. I'm Joe Murray. I am the Nugget champion. Talk to you Sunday.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.